Hi guys, welcome back to Chris Cowlin's channel. It's the big one, the moment of truth, the live watch along for the second leg of the Europa League semi-final against Bodø Glimt. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, X and Twitch. Please do get involved. Nearly 200 of you already watching. Thank you so much for your support. Please do press like wherever you're watching this video. If you're not already a subscriber on YouTube, please do subscribe to Chris's channel at Chris Cowlin on YouTube. We've got a full night of Tottenham Hotspur content coming for you. I will be doing the live watch along, then I will follow it with a post-match review. Then it'll be the fan show where I speak to Spurs fans from all over the world about tonight's performance and hopefully about a trip to Bilbao for a European final. And then after that will be the Spurs chat podcast from about 11 o'clock, unless of course there's extra time, where Chris will be hosting from Bodø, and he will be joined by Ricky Norwood, Terry Kim, and Gareth McGuinness. Chris, as is clear, was at the game, and he will be posting videos on his channel throughout the evening, including the post-match press conferences. So keep an eye out for all of that as well. Like I said, it's the big one. I don't know how you're feeling. Let us know in the comments. Let's start a debate. I'm absolutely cacking my pants. I don't know whether all the talk of how difficult it is in northern Norway in the Arctic Circle on the plastic pitch is real, as in if it's going to affect us as much as I fear it is, or whether actually when it comes to it, Tottenham will put in the kind of display that they've been putting in these knockout rounds away from home throughout. It's a very frightening moment as far as I'm concerned. Just far too many decades of supporting Spurs to feel like this will be easy in any way whatsoever. And certainly that goal at the end of last week's game for Bodø Glimt has given them far more of a chance than you'd expect of them if they were 3-0 up at this point. Anyway, before we get into the team news and all of the other kind of talking points, Chris would like to tell you about a new app which gives you the chance to win some money.
Let's go.
Hi everyone, before we get into it, I'd just like to tell you about a brand new app. It's called Match Bingo. You can play along with live sports and Spurs matches and you could win cash prizes. Watch your card fill up in real time whilst watching Tottenham. Make sure that you get your bingo card for our next game. Click on the link in the description or via the QR code. Real sports, real bingo, great prizes. Enjoy.
I'm sure all of you Tottenham fans will fill up your cards quickly as like every other game. There's no doubt that this game will be full of incidents and chances and probably goals on both sides. Over £200,000 has been paid out to players so far by taking sports betting, football and bingo and combining them into one brilliant app. Make sure you get your bingo card for the Tottenham versus Bodø Glimt game. Click through the link in the description or via that QR code up there. Just run your phone over that. And bingo cards for this game are buy 4, get 1 free. We're about 7 minutes or so away from kickoff. The team that Ange has announced for tonight is the team that actually I predicted on my video this morning, actually, on my channel. So it is Vicario, Pedro Porro and Destiny Udogie take their places, keep their places at fullback. Van der Ven and Romero are the centre halves. And then Bissouma, Bentancur and Kulusevski comes in for the injured James Maddison. And then the same forward line as well, Richarlison, Johnson and Solanke. So only one change, the enforced change of Kulusevski coming in for Maddison. On the bench, Austin, Whiteman, Spence, Davies, Danso, Gray, Sarr. Then the kids, Olisesi, Ajayi and Mikey Moore and Wilson Odobert and Matthias Tell. Bodø Glimt, I won't go through the team, but they've made 3 changes. And of course, their captain, their talisman, their quarterback, their conductor, Berg, is back. And from all of the stuff that I've been watching and from the atmosphere that I can see, just watching on TNT Sports, they're letting off a lot of flares. They're doing a lot of pyro. They've got fireworks. Obviously, you'll have seen the social media last night that some of the fans set off fireworks outside the Tottenham Hotel, which is a well-worn trope of European football. Tends to happen quite regularly when you go to these away games. But this is undoubtedly the biggest game in the history of Bodø Glimt. And Tottenham just have to match, like simple as this, we have to match the desire, we have to match the motivation, we have to match the intensity, and we're going to have to be clinical. As far as I'm concerned, and I'd love to be wrong, and you can call me out on it afterwards if I'm wrong, but I think we will concede today at least one goal. So we're going to have to score as well. And when chances come our way, we're going to have to be clinical. Really good news, I think, that Dominic Solanke is fit. Absolutely huge for us. Richarlison, I'm also pleased he's starting because I did think he put them under a lot of pressure on the left last week and gives us an ability to go a little bit more direct. They're not the biggest team by any means. And going a little bit more direct, as long as we use it sparingly, by which I mean we don't kind of just try and go full crazy gang. But Richarlison really did put them under some pressure, and he was unlucky to be taken off after 45 minutes. Johnson stays in the starting 11. I predicted that. It'll be another Brennan Johnson type game. We'll see very little of him, I'm sure, in the build-up. And every time he gets it out wide on the touchline, if he's got no space in front of him, he'll go back and go sideways. But if we can get to the byline down the left, then will Johnson be there on the right to tap something in? Yes, he will. So let's not give Johnson too much shit, frankly, because he is our top scorer this season. It's a huge night again, in my opinion, for Yves Bissouma. He's got to show again, like he did last Thursday, another 96, 97, or even more minutes of full concentration. Doing the hard things well, which he always does, but also doing the easy things with concentration. Giving it easy, nothing stupid. Don't try and do anything paradisey if it's not necessary. That's what I've loved over the last 2 or 3 legs in Europe with Spurs. When they've needed to just hack it out into row Z, they've done it. They haven't taken the piss when it's come to playing out of the back. When the opportunity's there, sure, they do it. But when it's not, don't take the piss. It's win or bust at this point. Any stupid mistakes will be penalised by Bodø Glimt. They know how to play in this stadium. They know how to win in this stadium. 6 out of the last 7 games in Europe, they've won by 2 clear goals in this stadium. Lazio came there complacent and they were turned over. I'm just hoping that Tottenham do not arrive with that complacency. The pitch has been absolutely doused in water. They love to get it as quick as possible, and Spurs need to be ready for that. They trained on it last night, but you can bet your bottom dollar that Bodø Glimt won't have watered it last night. So it'll be a lot quicker than what they trained on last night. It's a very wet, windy night in Bodø Glimt as well, so that's conditions they're going to have to deal with. And for me, I've been a little bit nervous about, and I get it, I'm not saying that I wasn't tempted to do the same, but I've been a little bit nervous about how the Spurs fans have really jumped on Arsenal after them going out last night and made Arsenal the meme. For me, I would have waited till tomorrow. If Tottenham can get through this, then for sure, spend the rest of the season up to the Europa League final making Arsenal the meme and talking about the possibility of Tottenham having a better season than Arsenal. But to do it for 24 hours, kind of in the knowledge that we could very quickly become the meme champions tonight, if we go out of this tournament with a 2-goal lead from the first leg, it's a scary one. Let's face it, tonight could be a glory night in the history of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, but also it could well be Ange Postecoglou's last game. For me, I think we need to see Decky Kulusevski dropping deep to get on the ball, helping the fullbacks, helping the centre-backs and Vicario to play the game as Maddison does, comes and drops back into that kind of quarterback role. I'd like to see more of that from Kulusevski. However, I don't really think it's his natural game, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. We do have strong options off the bench in Odegaard, Tell and more if needed. So if it does go to extra time, that will be an important factor, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't want to seem negative about it. I cannot help but feel that Tottenham will find a way to go 2-0 down in this game. However, to try and regain some positivity, I do think we'll score tonight. I do think we'll score, which would mean they would have to beat us by 4 clear goals. 4 clear goals if we score to knock us out, or on penalties. So if we could get that first goal, then it could really force Bodø Glimt to come and play a different style and really attack us and leave spaces in behind. So that is what I'm hoping. Okay, guys, as ever, I will be a little bit delayed, I'm sure. I'm just at the team lineup photos bit now. So if you're watching alongside me, do try and pause where you're watching so we can line up together. We've got Italian referees tonight. Be interesting to see how they referee it. I'd like Spurs to be relatively physical in terms of, trying to block off the 1-2s. You'll see it tonight. We saw it a little bit at White Hart Lane last week. Bodø Glimt love to play 1-2s from deep. they'll send the ball into the midfielder or into the forward man, hold it up, and then the runner goes. And we've got to block those runs, as far as I'm concerned. We've got to block those runs, because watching that Lazio game and watching the Olympiacos game earlier this season, when they play at home, they love to use the speed of the pitch, get the ball moving quickly, zipping off the pitch, get the second runs, get the third man runner. And Tottenham are going to have to be aware of that. What I'm going to say is that I feel like when we're on it, and when we have Mickey van der Ven and Romero, especially Mickey van der Ven, we are 25 to 30% better than any other game. And I hope we can do that tonight, by which I mean be 30% better, put in a performance, and take us to Bilbao. Okay, I'm dropping off the chat now, guys, off the comments, but I will get back in the comments at halftime. Of course I will. Do keep chatting amongst yourselves. Try and pause it. It looks like we're going to be kicking off any minute. I am nervous, to say the least. 8,000 people at stadium. It's more like a kind of lower league stadium, but Tottenham have to be ready. Romero captain tonight. I'm going to open a beer, actually. I'm that nervous. I'm going to open a beer. We need big games from these players. Romero, he's won a World Cup. He's won 2 Copa Americas. He has to drag us through this. Take the game by the scruff of the neck. Talk to his players. Make it work. Okay, we're about to be kicking off. It's going to be light all night during this game at Bodø Glimt. It doesn't get dark there till way past midnight, so it just feels like a late afternoon game. Come on, you Spurs. I'll tell you when we kick off, just so you can unpause if you are pausing to stay with me. About 2 minutes behind at the moment, but I don't know how much that is. Okay, we've kicked off now. Bodø Glimt kicking from left to right. And as we saw all last week... Oh, I'll tell you what, terrible ball early from Bodø Glimt, and Solanke nearly got the ball off them in the centre-back line. All last week, they are very comfortable playing it amongst their back line, and Spurs kind of pressing them a little bit, but not pressing all the time, except in midfield. And Solanke nearly made the best of it. And they're in down the left-hand side straight away, Bodø here. But well played by Yves Bissouma, I think it was, to stop the ball going any further, and Spurs win a throw on the halfway line. And Pedro Porro's taking some time over this throw. If we start trying to time waste from the very start, it'd be hilarious. Kulusevski now getting in down the right-hand side, using his strength well. Can he win a corner or anything here? He wins a throw-in. Well done, Decky. In Bodo's left-back position. We're wearing the green shirts, by the way, tonight. As we did, of course, in Amsterdam 6 years ago in the Champions League semi-final. Lucas Moura and all that. Porro with another throw. It's not what you'd call a raucous atmosphere at all. It seemed very polite. Porro wasting some time again. Gets a throw down the line. And Bodø clear it. Bissouma gives a little short pass in. And Spurs get another throw in. Porro again. Trying to throw it into Solanke in the box. Uses his strength well. Can he win something? Doesn't he? Goes backwards. Comes into the box now. But Bodø able to get a foot on it. Then a cross comes in. Richarlison at the back post. Gets a touch. Oh, and gets a half shot. Oh, wow. And the ball came across Richarlison. He takes it on his thigh and then gets a little left foot shot away, but it's blocked. But Tottenham are they're taking their time over throw-ins. They're just showing the Spurs fans now. They're all getting absolutely drenched. Also, the Tottenham... Richarlison, terrible touch from a throw there and goes off for a Bodø throw. But Tottenham have given all of those fans, they've laid out scarves for them, Spurs scarves for them on the chairs, on the seats where they're standing. And sitting in the bottom left-hand corner there, the Spurs fans. Bodø trying to play the ball out. And now it comes to Mickey van der Ven, who will go straight back to Vicario. Now, what will Vic do? Will he go long straight away? And he does. Goes long up towards... It's won by Bodø, but it comes to Dominic Solanke, who nearly muscles his way through. But Bodø get the ball down. And once again, yes, there we go. Just a little 1-2. The first 1-2 of the game, and it's Patrick Berg on the ball. But Spurs get back in shape. They are patient, Bodø Glimt. They were last week. They were against Lazio. Solanke now pressing the goalkeeper. Richarlison coming as a second presser. Plays it round to the fullback. And then the fullback goes long into midfield, but it's well cut out by Bentancur, who does well. Drops it into Mickey van der Ven. Van der Ven trying to get around his man. And that should be a Spurs throw. It's not. Van der Ven tried to beat his man there, but actually it goes out for a Bodø Glimt throw. And Bodø go backwards straight away. They're consistent, Bodø, and they kick it out accidentally. And it's a throw into Spurs. Udogie with the throw now. And again, taking some time. Goes down the line to Solanke using his strength. He's muscled off it. And Bodø get it out to their left fullback. Johnson has to put in a bit of a shift here. And he does. Makes them go backwards. And again, Solanke, as ever, doing donkey work. And the keeper gets it out to the wide right fullback. Richarlison working on him. He comes inside. The fullback's coming all the way across the pitch. Very comfortable on the ball. Gets it out to the left back. Johnson again having to do some work. And he does enough there. We saw this last week, actually. The left fullback did beat Johnson for pace. And now they're in down the left-hand side, Bodø. Attacking our box for the first time. Spurs have to stay strong here. Chip to the back. And it comes straight to Vicario. No problem there. And the crowd are whistling because they feel Spurs are wasting time already. And I don't disagree and I don't care. Richarlison now. He's under a bit of pressure here. Goes back down the line. I don't mind that from Rishi. There's no one there, though. Solanke pressing the keeper. And he chips it into the left midfielder. He has to go back to the keeper. Goes to the fullback and goes back to the keeper. We saw this all last week. We'll see a lot of this, won't we? We gave them a lot of possession last week. And now the centre-back brings it out. Solanke again knowing he has to put in a bit of a shift here. And it comes to the fullback around Brennan Johnson on the left-hand side, just in the Spurs half now. Bodø just knocking it about as they love to do. Kulusevski has to work a little bit now. Follow his man. And again, we saw this all last week, didn't we? How comfortable they are and how little they want to play aerial balls. They're just knocking it about, using the pace of the pitch to knock the ball about. Spurs, by no means playing that kind of high line at the moment, except for when the ball goes back to the keeper, when you see straight away Romero knock it up, and then they're going for a straight one over the top. And actually, that comes straight to the striker, and they've got a good chance now running at Porro into the box. Porro does well, and that should be a Spurs goal kick. It's a corner. Hauger wins a corner. That came from the first long ball up to the striker. Okay, they're whipping this in towards Vicario. It's a good delivery. Comes all the way to the back post, and he volleys it wide. So it was a deep corner in the end. It went over everybody, and nobody followed the 11. And actually, in the end, it's Brennan Johnson who puts in a bit of a shift to put him under some pressure, and that makes him volley it wide. But he was only about 8 yards out. And Vicario is already being talked to by the ref about wasting time as he kicks a long one up to Bissouma, who then chips it down the line and off the pitch. 7 minutes gone. Bodø so happy all the time to use their keeper as an extra man. Solanke puts him under pressure. And again, this is what we saw. The fullback going at Brennan Johnson. But this time Johnson put a burst of pace on. And I'm pleased to see that, because the first chance of them getting into the box earlier on came from that fullback beating him for pace and Johnson not really wanting to put in a defensive shift. And I saw that last week as well a little bit. But that time Johnson put on the burners a little bit and won Spurs a throw as a result. Porro will take that throw. Down the line towards Solanke putting the pressure on, and that's cleared by Bodø for another Spurs throw. I don't mind this. Spurs going down the line with every throw, and I don't mind it at all. Sometimes, I've mentioned it before, probably last week, we're not great with our throws when we throw them sideways into midfield. We lose it so often, so I'd rather do it down the line if we're going to lose it and then potentially win the second throw. And that's a good one up to Kulusevski in the corner, trying to win something. Tries to get a cross in, but Berg picks it up. And again, as ever, they just want to play it out on the floor. Centre midfielder being pressed by Kulusevski there, but he goes back to the centre half. And Bodø back in their comfortable shape, playing it into Berg in midfield. And he knocked it around Richarlison to the fullback. Good play from Bodø Glimt. But a good shape there from Udogi. Kind of forced the fullback to go inside, but actually now Udogi's out of play. And they play a long ball over the top. Porro's going to have to win that, and he does. And Johnson gets a good touch on that, and it's over the top. Can Solanke use some strength there? Actually, it's well defended. Goes back to the keeper. And then the keeper tries to chip it to the fullback and knocks it straight out of play. Good stuff. Richarlison in a good position there. Are you guys all on the beers as well? I'm nervously on the beers. Romero gets his first touch of the game, pretty much. Out to Van der Ven. He lays it out to Udogi. Good first touch from Destiny. Goes down the line to Richarlison. Little 1-2 attempted. But actually, it's one back in midfield by Richarlison really well. Comes to Bentancur. Out to Romero. Can he find Porro outside? No. Romero comes to the left to Van der Ven instead. He'll look to Udogi. Good ball to Udogi. Good first touch. Keeps it on by Udogi. Comes narrow. Then tries a difficult ball to Basuma. And as a result, Bodø have got out here and they're on the transition. Johnson puts a bit of pressure on, but they're in a good position here. But this should come through to... Actually, Van der Ven makes a really important header there. Now, Basuma, don't lose it. He doesn't. Gets it out to Porro. Tell you what I just noticed there. Really quick counter press from Bodø Glimt. And it comes back to the Bodø keeper and he dinks it up. Kulusevski puts some pressure on, but that's too easy to get out there. Oh, but Kulusevski wins it back. Now, he's in the centre. Can he find Udogi? He does. Udogi's running towards the box. He might have a dig. Tries the cross. Deflected into the keeper's arms. Oh, Bodø, lovely little backheeled 1-2 in central midfield. But good shape from Decky makes them go backwards. Oh, good win there. Good win in central midfield from Bentancur. Then he tries a difficult ball. This could have been an easier ball on there, and Bodø win it back. Chip down the line. And well played from Romero. He was trying to win the foul as well. But he managed to get the ball to a teammate. And Spurs have it now with Porro. Tries the long ball over the top, but there's nobody running. That's the kind of ball that got James Maddison in the first leg. Solanke trying to suggest that the keeper handballed it outside his box there, but he didn't. Rishi and Solanke are going to need to put some pressure on Bodø here, but instead it comes to Udogi, and the pressure did work. And Udogi driving down the left. Good lad. He's on his own a little bit. Needs help here. He's got two against him. He's just going to drive towards the corner here and try and win something. Good lad. Wins a corner, I think. Yes, well played, Destiny. Come on, Spurs. Come on, Spurs. Make a chance from a set piece here. Get Bentancur running across the front. It's a wet night. Porro kisses the ball. They're right by the Spurs fans. Here it comes. Porro's going to whip it in. Flicked on at the near post. And goes all the way out for a goal kick. Spurs had a lot of corners last week, but didn't do anything with them. And again, Bodø playing their game, bringing it out. Try and put one into midfield there, but it's picked up by Basuma. Gets it over the top. Solanke holds it up nicely. Now he's got to do it easy here. Gives it into Rishi. Good ball. First time to Destiny. Oh, he could have maybe tried to find Rishi down the line. Basuma now. Good lad. Gets it out to Romero. And then Romero tries to chip it straight. It's a beautiful ball to Udogi on the left-hand side. Van der Ven now. He's got Porro. Romero's got Porro outside him, and Porro's getting pressed. He needs to get it out of his feet, and then he tries to dink it over the top for Johnson to run. The centre-back comes across and kicks it out. That's good football from Spurs. Turning Bodø Glimt down the channels. Johnson putting the pressure on down the channel and winning a throw-in high up the pitch. 13 minutes gone. Actually, 14 minutes gone. Spurs just trying to keep it tight, keep it calm, play their football, put pressure on Bodø, make them play their game, which is always to take it back to their back four and try and start it up from there. That's a long throw from Porro. You don't see that very often, and it's cleared easily, but it comes back to Porro, and he lays it back to Christian Romero. Hasn't really got an option there. Goes inside to Bentancur. He's got to be careful here, Rodrigo. This will end up back with Vicario. And he's got no option short here, Vic, so he's going to have to go long. And he does. He goes out towards Johnson. He won't win that in the air, Johnson. It goes off for a Bodø throw. And for some reason, the linesman caught the ball off the pitch to make it go back into play quicker. That's not right. That's not supposed to happen. Anyway, Richarlison puts pressure on. It comes back to the keeper, who plays a bit of a dangerous ball. Udogi nearly put the pressure on. Udogi's out of position now, so the ball comes down the line. And Romero shows his strength there brilliantly and gives it back to Van der Ven, who will go back to Vicario. That was great stuff one-on-one for Romero, by Romero. Vicario gives it to Porro, has to turn away, and then goes down the line nicely to Kulusevski. Lovely first-time ball into Porro, who gets it out to Richarlison. This is the best play from Spurs. Now, Richarlison's got Udogi outside him. Can he put him in? He does. Can Udogi get a good cross in? Should be a goal. Oh, I'll tell you what. The keeper got a touch on that. Otherwise, it would have been Brennan Johnson tapping it in at the back post. Oh, and Romero's made a big old... Romero did the right thing in the end there, but that was brilliant football from Spurs. Ball comes into the channel here. Solanke tries to press, but actually Bodø do really well there and take 3 Spurs players out of the game. Udogi's out of the game, and they're in down the middle now and in down the left. Udogi and Richarlison and Basuma are going to have to work back. They have to sprint back, and they're not sprinting at the moment, but Bentancur does brilliantly. And was then, well, he thought foul, but not. We've given it away. Chance on the edge of the box here, and they try to do their dink into the box, and now they're Bodø, the first time properly around the box here, and they have a shot, and it's blocked. Romero does well. Okay, and now Kulusevski's totally on his own. Can he win a foul or anything? Oh, and actually a foul is given against Romero, who I thought kind of jumped in a bit two-footed there. Not two-footed, but anyway, they're showing the replay of that great football. Lovely ball from Porro out to Richarlison. He drew the man, waited, got it to Udogi. And I'm telling you, the cross is perfect from Udogi, and Johnson is his usual position. I wonder if he would have been offside, but the keeper gets a touch and stops Johnson from just touching it home. Lovely stuff from Spurs. "17 minutes gone, and it's a Spurs free kick, and Vicario goes long with it up towards Solanke. First header won by the centre half. Comes into midfield. Spurs putting pressure on that midfield. It comes to the right fullback, who has to dink it down the line. And Bentancur does well to clear it. And they're wide forward. Blumberg trying to say it was a foul, but it wasn't. Spurs are showing good physicality. The co-commentator agreeing with me on that. The keeper, again, they love just playing their football. You've got to give credit to Bodø Glimt. Again, the fullback happy to come narrow and then play it across to the left fullback. Johnson's in a good position, though. Now they go down the channel over the top of Porro, and you think on a wet night like this, what is Vicario doing? I'll tell you what. Vicario could have just come and picked that up, and in the end, it skids through for a goal kick anyway. Vicario just going long with every goal kick. I don't mind it. Taking his time over. I don't want him. Don't get yourself booked in the first half though, Vic. Just watch as the referee runs away, and then as soon as he turns, kick it. And that's pretty much what he's done. It must be really windy there because Vicario is not even reaching the halfway line with his kicks. And for the first time, you see a Bodø Glimt player trying to get the crowd to make more of a noise with the old arms outstretched. A real modern day football thing. It's lame, as far as I'm concerned. Solanke, as ever, putting work in to make them go back to their keeper. And this time, their keeper goes long, straight down the middle. Oh, and tell you what, they're in here. Van der Ven had to put on the afterburners, and he did brilliantly. And the hamstrings survived. And then he gets a great ball down the line to Udogie as well. And they've cut back to Van der Ven, but Udogie's kept it and given it to Basuma. And he chips a nice ball out to Porro. Good stuff from Spurs. Brilliant from Van der Ven. Oh, Spurs now. Not got it in midfield, but Romero comes in, and between Romero and Bentancur, they're all over the striker, and they win it back, and it comes to Vicario, gets it out early to Destiny Udogie. And he goes over into the channel for Solanke, but that's easily cut out, and then chipped down the line. That's a good first-time ball to the right forward. He goes inside, good slide and tackle from Kulusevski. That's his best play so far from Decky. Solanke holds it up and gives it to Richarlison. Can he go first time to Decky? He does. Down the left-hand side. He won't have the pace for this, though. And that's good from Spurs, though, possession-wise, in terms of percentages. Kulusevski knew he couldn't win it, but he made the right fullback or the centre-back coming across kick it out for a throw. 20 minutes gone. Spurs, so far, good professional performance. Taking their time over every throw, as is their right. And Udogie's over this one, and Richarlison has to hold this up. And he does. He's got Udogie with him, who tries to go down the line. He was fouled potentially there, but not given. And Bodø come down the line, and good ball inside. Takes Bentancur out of the game, and it comes up to the striker. This is good play from Bodø, and they're down the right now. But Spurs get in some shape, so Bodø have to go back to their back line. And here they are again, playing in between their centre halves. Richarlison putting in a real shift at the moment, working hard, and therefore it goes back to the keeper to start again. This time Brennan Johnson presses, so the keeper has to go long. Udogie wins the first one and gets it straight to Richarlison first time, and he gets it into Solanke. Solanke, can he? And he wins a free kick there, Solanke. Brilliant. Brilliant play from from Spurs, and it's a free kick just outside the box. Who will be on this? Porro, you've got to think. For once, it's not going to be a scrap for it. Well, who's over it, actually? Yeah, it's Pedro Porro. So it's just inside. It's perfect, almost a perfect position for the right footer. Will the ref make them go back 10 yards properly? On a wet night like this, make the keeper make a save. That is the key. Make the keeper make a save. If it's not perfect, if it's not top bins, make him make a save. Don't hit the wall or hit it over the bar. Make him make a save low down. In fact, because it's quite central, they've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4. They've got 5 men in the wall. They've got a draft excluder. Just make him make a save. In fact, Kulusevski's there as well, and he set up the wall for the right footer, and maybe Kulusevski might try and bend it the other way. Come on, Spurs. I think it will be Porro. Come on, Pedro. Here he comes. No, it's tipped over. There was no pace on it. Easily tipped over. It was pretty central in the end as well. He does get it over the wall, to be fair. If it had been wide, it might have been difficult. Come on. Now, let's get a good delivery in from this corner. Keeper made the most of that, but it's a save. Come on, Tottenham. Come on, Pedro. Good delivery here. We haven't made any chances from corners, really, I think, in that first leg either. Here it comes. In swinger. Oh, it comes all the way to the back. Oh, nobody was there, though, and it's cleared away by Bodø Glimt. Come on, Spurs, if we could get a goal. For the first time, Porro goes backwards with his throw. And that goes to Romero, so it will go to Vicario. And he's got no short option, so he will go long again. And he does. Up to Johnson, who again mistimes his jump. And so Bodø go down the line. And Romero's there, and he's just got to get rid of this. And actually his ball ends up with Bentancur, whose turn wasn't good, and therefore Bodø get it back into their back line. Richarlison putting a press on there, but it means that it easily gets out to the fullback. And therefore lots of space now in the forward right position, and Van der Ven's out position, but Udogie fills in for him. Centre half coming into midfield now for Bodø, and it goes again across to the left fullback. Goes down the line to the forward, and there we go. Another 1-2. The left fullback goes, but Johnson did follow his runner that time. Good stuff. And again, Spurs pushing them all the way back to the keeper. Good stuff from Tottenham. And he plays the ball around Richarlison to the right fullback. Richarlison's in good shape though. And again, for the third or fourth time, the fullback comes narrow, but Richarlison does well. Comes to the centre half. And now the centre half brings it out comfortably and finds the left fullback. Johnson's there. And again, Bodø go all the way back to their centre half. They're just playing it around comfortably. Yeah, co-commentator talking about how patient Bodø are, and it's true. Now Udogie pressing the right fullback all the way. Blomberg there taking on Van der Ven. Van der Ven's in a really good position. Blomberg's falling over here. Oh, and the ref gives a foul, and I tell you, that was not a foul. Deary me. That was brilliant pressing from Spurs. And Blomberg was slipping over, to be honest. And in the end, he wins himself a foul off Van der Ven. But good pressing from Spurs. Good organised pressing. And again, Bodø take the free kick quickly. And the keeper's forced to go long into midfield. Van der Ven was pushed there, and that's one that he gets as well. And that winds up the striker, but well done, Mickey. Oh, and the ref books Ho. Because he threw the ball away. And then he shakes the hand of the ref after that, but anyway, 26 minutes. Van der Ven over the free kick. He dinks it, looking for Solanke in the channel, and it goes off for a throw-in, unfortunately, for a goal kick. What am I talking about? Bodø get it away quickly, try and play it short, but Solanke working so hard. The player not really in this game at the moment is Kulusevski, but don't mind. Good header from Van der Ven from a long ball out there. And the fans, the Bodø fans, getting really frustrated now because they feel like Tottenham are time wasting. What do you expect? And again, good pressing from Solanke forces Bodø into midfield, but then it comes back to the centre half, as it always does, for them to start again. And Richarlison's in a good position as well, as is Solanke as well. And then Brennan Johnson's just slightly off his press. And the ball's chipped into midfield. Good press from Spurs. Basuma working hard. And then Richarlison again in a good position as it comes out past the halfway line with the right fullback. Blomberg now on the ball, but Richarlison has worked hard to get back into shape. Now Blomberg coming narrow. Back into the centre circle now. And again, Richarlison is in a good shape. As is Kulusevski, as is Solanke, to force them to play it around their back line. Now the 1-2, and Johnson blocked off the 1-2 there, and I love that. That's exactly what I've been calling for Spurs to do all week. Really good to see that from Brennan Johnson. Smart play. Now he's got again, because they're in down the left now, and he's tried to block his runner, but he didn't. But he got enough on it to make them go backwards. Good stuff from Brennan Johnson. Really like that. Okay, they're still down the left here, and they've done a little 1-2, and they're in down the left here. Chance to get a cross in. He tries a clever little pass, and it's blocked. But Bodø still have it on the left. Just playing some little intricate football, trying to chip it into the box. Basuma's in a good position. He needs to clear, and he does. He doesn't whack it out, but he just gets rid of it. And Bodø start quickly. Berg gets it all the way back to the keeper. Bodø getting a lot of possession here. And then they get it out wide again. Wide left. Again, a little 1-2. The Bodø player's on the floor. Not sure why. Spurs pushing them back to Berg now in midfield. He's got a bit of space. He lays it out wide to the fullback. And again, Bodø Glimt just love to give and go, pass and move. Very Tottenham Hotspur traditions. It comes now to the wide right player. And he plays it down the line, but Bentancur saw it coming and got his body in the way. Now can he win something? Gives it inside to Destiny, gives it to Richarlison, who does well. Gives it back to Bentancur, who just took his eye off the ball a little bit, and so clears it into midfield. But a lovely ball up towards Kulusevski, but unfortunately he can't bring it down. Bodø, yeah, as the commentator says, starting to find their way into the game, getting a bit more possession. And now it's one-on-one down the sides. Oh, and Udogi has given away a foul there. The wide forward came narrow on him there, and he wasn't expecting him to. It's a dangerous area. It's on the it's in the inside left position as we look at it from our point of view, and there'll be Berg over it. And Spurs are keeping their defensive line on about I'd say about 8-9 yards out. No, a bit further. Sorry, 11 yards out. They've got a two-man wall marking the inside post. Bakari just needs to be sure that Berg isn't going to try and use the pace on the pitch to get one over that wall and zip in at the near post. And also the wall needs to stay together. It's Johnson and Kulusevski in the wall, and they're kind of apart. They're not together here. They need to be smart. They're clearly going to cross it, and they've got some men trying to be runners at the back post here who are not marked. It's very zonal at the moment. Here it comes to the back post. Oh, I'll tell you what. It's a good save by Vicario in the end, because that was heading kind of Ronaldinho and David Seaman-esque like into the top corner. To corner. In-swinger again from Berg. They're lining their players up at the back here, kind of doing what Arsenal like to do and get them running in from the back. Here comes the in-swinger. Can Vicario come? No, he doesn't. Spurs lose the first header, then win the second one. And Romero is in his own corner here. He needs to win something, and somebody needs to give him an option. And who is that? Bentancur. He's going to have to clear, and does, down the line to Rishi, who flicks it on. And Solanke can get a touch on this. Can he win a free kick or anything here, Dom? He loses it in midfield, unfortunately. But still, took a bit of time out of the game. Bodø getting a little bit of a head of steam up, which is getting their fans behind them a little bit here. They haven't got in behind us yet, but they're just starting to play their game a little bit. Athletic Bilbao have scored the first goal at Old Trafford. Good. Well, Van der Ven got a touch in there. Nearly didn't fall to a Spurs player, unfortunately. Again, Bodø just trying to build it up in their own half. It comes to their left fullback, who goes, and then Johnson again blocks him. I love that from Brennan Johnson. Oh, and then Brennan Johnson has put in a horrible tackle off the ball. Really bad. He's been doing really well off the ball, but he really misjudged that. Yeah, it's just a bit of it's just mistimed. Okay, Bodø take that free kick quickly. 32 minutes gone. Again, they get it out wide left and come back into the narrow. Oh, lovely. Oh. Bentancur gives away a foul in central midfield on Berg. He was just trying to nick the ball ahead of him. Important save that was from Vicario from the free kick. Berg, I don't know if he was shooting or it's just a bad delivery, but it ends up going nearly into the top corner and Vicario deals with it. So 2 tip-over saves from both goalkeepers, 1 from each keeper so far in this game. Solanke, ball come over, is putting some pressure on the centre-back to get it back to the keeper. And then he plays a good ball straight out to his fullback, who again, the right fullback, comes narrow. and then cuts back on Udogie, who wasn't ready for that. But Richarlison in a good position. And so it goes back again to the centre half, who gets it to the keeper, who this time is forced to go long with a really good diagonal ball over Brennan Johnson to the left fullback. Johnson having to work hard, though, and doing well. Ball comes to the right fullback. Richarlison having to work off the ball again. The one player I'd like to see in this game a bit more is Deki Kulusevski. Comes to the right back. And now another 1-2. Comes to Berg. Solanke working hard backwards here. Comes out to the wide left. They're going to try and get a cross in. They do. It's a free header. Was just above him, but so he heads it kind of wide and over the striker. But oh, Romero dropped deep there. He would have been offside if Romero hadn't dropped deep. Deary me. Chance for Bodø there. The delivery was just above him, thankfully. And again, Spurs showing very poor defensively from crosses. Good stuff from Kulusevski holding it up there. Lovely play from Richarlison, giving it back to Kulusevski. Plays it inside to Bentancur. Gives it to Van de Ven. Oh, poor ball down the line from Porro, unfortunately. But then Johnson does really well and wins a throw-in for Spurs. "35 minutes gone." Johnson tries to get it down the line, but it's hacked up into the air. Bentancur tries to bring it down under lots of pressure, which was probably a bit of a mistake. It's a bit of scrappy in central midfield here, but Bodø bring it out and get it back to their back line. It wouldn't surprise me if it went back to the keeper at some point. No, it comes to the centre back because Richarlison drops off him. And it does now go back to the keeper. And Richarlison knows he has to make his run out to the fullback, Udogie, for it to go inside again. And it does. And Udogie, unfortunately, has made a big old press. And they've got past it very easily. Comes back narrow, though, which gives Udogie the chance to get back in. It comes all the way around to the left-hand side now. They're going to try and get another cross in here. It doesn't. Porro blocks the first pass. It's a throw into Bodø. They do it quickly, as ever. Surely you'd think they'll try and get more crosses in after they made that chance. And there we go. It comes to the wide left now. He gets to the byline. Crossed back, but Bissouma, I think it is, who gets in the way. And he's got to get rid of it. And he does. It deflects off a couple of Bodø players and is a Spurs throw. Porro with the throw. He's got to go down the line. And he does. It's flicked on by Johnson. And again by Solanke, but straight off for a Bodø throw. And they go backwards to start again. Oh, centre-back bravely just beats Richarlison with a pass there to his fullback. Richarlison working hard to get back in again. Then they come narrow. And then they go for the 1-2 down the line. This is good football from Bodø, and the fullback's still running. They bring it to the right instead. So Richarlison's got to work hard. Got to keep working here, Rishi. Comes inside, comes narrow again. A good ball down the line. There's a bit of space. Destiny's got it. That's a goal kick to Spurs. Okay. It's just a bit of a poor pass from Bodø. 38 minutes gone now. Whistles from the Bodø Glimt fans. They feel Spurs are wasting too much time. And again, the ref talks to Vicario, so he's going to book him next time. Romero's talking to the referee. I think Vic, just kick it as soon as you can from now, mate. Don't risk yourself getting booked. Ball up to Solanke. Flicks on the first one. Can Richarlison get that down the line? He tried to control it and win a free kick, and he won a free kick, actually. I didn't think that was. Richarlison kind of jumped, but that's good. Yeah, maybe it was a foul. Came through him a little bit. So Udogie standing over this free kick. It's on the left-hand touch line. Looks like Spurs are going to try and chip it into the box, and they do. For Solanke to challenge, and it goes straight over him. Interesting. Spurs not really trying to play any football at the moment at all, and Solanke limping a little bit there. That's not good. And the Bodø Glimt keeper has to go long into midfield. Bentancur does really well, and then just tries to give a bit too much of a clever ball, and therefore we lose it. He works hard to get it back, to try and get it back, and it's forced backwards again to the goalkeeper. So it's the counter press that's working well for Spurs to force Bodø back every time. Richarlison now puts a press on the centre back. Oh, they're so lucky there, and actually, oh, they're lucky twice, Bodø Glimt there, because it also broke to Udogie. Good pressing from Spurs. Picking the right times, but Bodø Glimt get very lucky. Otherwise, Spurs would likely have been in the middle of the pitch. It was first really good press from Richarlison, and then just as he does the hard work, it kind of bounces off his heel. Anyway, Spurs have the throw. Give it to Richarlison. He can get to the byline. Tries to get a cross in, and it should be a corner, and it is a corner. Well done, Rishi. Come on, Spurs, make a chance from a corner. We, like against Frankfurt, we made so many chances from corners, but we haven't really against Bodø yet. Although the last delivery really was great, came into the middle of the box, but just unlucky that no Spurs player was there. It's going to be another in-swinger from Porro. Van der Ven's in there. Romero's in there. Here it comes. Hits the first man, cleared out, comes to Bissouma, gets a touch on it to Udogie, and this will go all the way back to Vicario. You've got to think we'll probably go long. Although he gives it out to Bissouma, who's in a bit of a difficult position, so he has to go first time. Deary me, Spurs. Oh, no. Oh, tell you what, they had a shot from the halfway line there, but he was back. Didn't get hold of it, Berg and Vicario. It was off target, but Vicario was back anyway. Oh, good play there from Udogie as they try and get in. And then good stuff from Van der Ven, finds Udogie as well. He gets up to Kulusevski, whose touch is poor. And Spurs lose it because of that, but Udogie does well. And Spurs just not being strong in the 50-50s there. And Bodø get it into central midfield. Comes back to the back line again, though. Johnson in a good position, putting a bit of a press on. Oh, it was actually Solanke first and then Johnson second. And again, now the fullback taking on Johnson. Johnson does well there. Stood up really well. 42 minutes gone in this game. 2,000 of you watching, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Please do press like and make sure you subscribe to Chris's channel at Chris Cowling. As again, the Bodø Glimt centre-half brings it out and finds his right fullback. And Richarlison starting to look a bit fatigued, putting another doggy in. It comes across to the wide left forward, and the left fullback is making a run. Johnson lets him go this time. It comes narrow. Comes out wide again. But a poor touch, and this should let Solanke in, who's fouled from behind for sure. But actually, it's Pedro Porro, I think, now breaking. He's one-on-one with the last centre-back. He's got no one with him. He should run to the corner and wait. He's surrounded by Bodø players, so he holds it up. Does really well. Dinks it to the back post. Richarlison doesn't get hold of it. It comes to Solanke. He's in the box here on the left-hand side. Tries to dink it to the back post, but nobody's there, and it's cleared by a Bodø player. The wind kind of hangs the ball up a little bit there, and Bodø able to bring it out. And they're at the right back, and they play it down the line here, and they try and get it in behind Udogie, who's got the keeper there, but he's got to be careful because there's a Bodø Glimt player there now. And it comes to Van der Ven, who clears it down the line, up to Richarlison, who's got space, actually. And he's got Solanke outside him. Finds him. It's not a great pass, but he finds him. Solanke just holds it up. And can Spurs get their foot on the ball for the first time in a while here? And they do. Bissouma finds Bentancur. Romero. Into Biss, who gives it straight back to Romero. And this now has the feel of the last couple of minutes of a half where both teams have given a lot of energy. Comes to Van de Ven. He goes Spurs time out to Rishi. His first touch keeps it on, and he's forced backwards again. Gives it back to Van de Ven. And this will end up, I think, with Vicario. It comes to Romero, who goes across to Porro, I assume. It's a long way out. He goes inside to Kulusevski, who hasn't had the best half, to say the least. It's not really in it. Again, kind of sticking with how it's been in the last few weeks, just lacking a bit of freshness and rhythm since coming back from his injury. He's not keeping control of the ball in the way Maddison's done, but he's working hard. He's working hard. Bodø, once again, as we're in the 44th minute, trying to get it through the middle of the pitch now. They're at the left back now, and he goes again for the 1-2, and they play for a third man run here. They get it down the line, but it goes off for a throw in, and Spurs should take their time over this. Head of UEFA is at the Bodø Stadium in the Arctic Circle tonight. Seferin, I think his name is. That right? 20 seconds left of normal play in the first half. I wouldn't say there'd have been a lot of breaks in this, as we play a ball over the top for Solanke to chase, but it comes into the box for the keeper, or at least it does in the end. But that is, I'll tell you what, that was a pass back, wasn't it? Anyway, that's a corner for Spurs. It should be one of the last kicks of the half from a keeper mistake. This would be absolutely magic if we could. There's only 1 minute added. Come on, make a chance here. This will be the outswinger from Porro. And actually, in the last few European games, by my reckoning, we've been more dangerous with the outswinger for Bentancur and flick-ons at the near post. Only 30 seconds left. So whatever happens, make sure you don't get hit on the transition. But can we do something here? One arm up from Porro. It's going to be the outswinger. Here it comes. Flick on at the near post, attempted. Chance on the edge of the box. Bissouma. God, he's the worst fucking shooter of all time. And like I said last week, so frustrating because he scored an absolute worldie against Spurs when playing for Brighton at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But since he's been at Spurs, his shooting boots have not been there. That should be half-time, though. The keeper kicks it long. That is half-time. So far, a very professional performance from Tottenham Hotspur. 0-0. And I would say very, very comfortable. They haven't got in behind us. They've had one kind of chance, which is from a cross, where the cross wasn't really blocked. And thankfully, the cross was a bit above Ho, the number 9, and he heads it over and wide. Spurs have made a few decent chances. Tottenham's counter press has been good. The only thing, other than just being a Spurs fan since, 1987, the only thing that worries me is obviously that game against, who was it, Dynamo Zagreb, when we were comfortable as well, having had a 2-0 lead in the first leg, and then we didn't concede till 60 minutes in the second leg. But we are getting to the point here. So that's just me using my experience to be a little nervous still. But it's been very comfortable. Spurs have set up very, very well for this game so far. But we need to continue. We need to keep with the energy, keep with the desire, because we are forcing them back every time. We are forcing them to play from their back four, back to their back four, back to the keeper every time. They haven't got options all the time. And they're having to take risks to find those options in midfield. And that's where our counter press is really coming into it. It really has been an impressive performance so far. I'll go through what has happened. Second minute, cross came to Richarlison, the back post, controlled it on his thigh, got away from it a little bit and gets a left foot shot blocked. Fourth minute, Bodø got out for the first time. Their left fullback beat Johnson for pace. But that's when I really noticed nothing came of it. And then I noticed that Spurs were kind of wasting time from the 4th minute onwards. And I don't mind it. How many times this season have we seen clubs, go into a lead against Spurs and then just waste time, make it bitty, make it horrible? The fans are whistling. They're getting frustrated. Bodø had a man booked because of frustration. But that's what it's all about. Be professional. Keep going with it. 6th minute, Hauge won a corner after running at Porro. It came from the first long ball that came up to the striker, and he dealt with it pretty well. But I'd say, and got it out wide and led to a corner. But I'd say pretty well overall. Romero and Van de Ven have dealt with the balls coming up to the striker well. 7th minute, chance, back post volleyed wide from the corner. That was their maybe their best chance along with the header. The corner came all the way through. and bounced up. The player at the back post brought it down and volleys it. And in the end, actually, Brennan Johnson put some pressure on him, which led to him slicing it wide. 10th minute, Deki Kulusevski won it high up, which led to a cross from Destiny Udogie, which was deflected in the keeper's arms. Udogie then won a corner in the 12th minute by driving down the left. Really good stuff. Bentancur had been at that point in the last few minutes winning a few balls in midfield as well. Nothing came from the corner. 15th minute, brilliant football from Spurs. Porro with a lovely ball into Richarlison. He waited just the right time to set in a doggy on the left. He got to the byline, and his cross so nearly found Brennan Johnson for the trademark Johnson goal at the back post, but the keeper got a touch on it that got it away from Brennan Johnson. 18th minute was one of the few times they got a ball over the top of our back line. Looked like they were going to be in, but Mickey van der Ven turned on the afterburners and got to the ball and then cleared it nicely down the line. 20th minute, brilliant play from Spurs into Solanke, held it up well and won a free kick just outside the box. No pace on that free kick from Porro, though, and it was tipped over by the keeper. It was a decent save, but he would have been very disappointed if he'd not saved it. And then there was a good delivery from the corner. It came all the way across the 6-yard box, but unfortunately nobody was there. It was the 25th minute when Ho, the number 9 for them, was booked for throwing the ball away after giving away a foul. 29th minute, Udogie gave away a free kick in a dangerous area as his wide forward went narrow on him for the first time. But it was a good save from Vicario from that free kick as Berg, their captain, looked like he was either trying to cross it with pace and misdelivered it, or he was going for a sneaky one to the top corner, Ronaldinho style. Vicario tips it over. Good save. Nothing came from the corner. Brennan Johnson was booked in the 32nd minute for a bad tackle off the ball, missed time, but he has been putting in a really good shift, blocking the runs for the 1-2 from their fullback time and time again. Been really impressed with Johnson this half and his defensive work. Bodø made a chance in the 34th minute. Cross came in, as I mentioned, from Ho. Romero actually dropped deep too early, and that allowed the number 9 to be onside. Thankfully, the cross was just above his head, and so it went wide and over. Bodø got to the byline again in the 36th minute, cut a ball back, but Basuma picked it off and cleared it. Noticed in the 39th minute that Solanke was limping a bit. Rishi won a corner. We've had a few corners, but not been able to make a proper chance from it. Then a bad clearance from Basuma in the 40th minute, and Berg tries to shoot from the halfway line, but Vicario was back and it was going wide anyway. And then in the 45th minute, kind of last kick of the half, their keeper tried to control the ball in his box and let it go out for a corner. And the corner found its way to the edge of the box, and Basuma, who once again, second game in a row, has a shot from outside the box, but it was very, very, very poor. And as a result, went high and wide. So let me just take you through once again the itinerary for tonight's Tottenham Content Fest. I'll be doing the watch along for the second half, then an instant match review. After that, it will be the fan show, where I speak to Tottenham fans from all around the world. And I'll be talking to them about tonight's performance and hopefully a trip to Bilbao, if we can continue the way we're doing at the moment. And then after that, it will be the Spurs Chat podcast from 11 o'clock, where Chris Cowling will be presenting it from Bodø. So make sure you keep tuned in. Also, Chris is at the game, and he'll be putting videos up of all the kind of fan content and the post-match press conferences after it as well. But before we go into some of the chat in the comments, guys, Chris wants to tell you a little bit about something that could help you win some money.
Let's go.
Hi everyone, before we get into it, I'd just like to tell you about a brand new app. It's called Match Bingo. You can play along with live sports and Spurs matches, and you could win cash prizes. Watch your card fill up in real time whilst watching Tottenham. Make sure that you get your bingo card for our next game. Click on the link in the description or via the QR code. Real sports, real bingo, great prizes. Enjoy.
It's not too late to get yourself involved, guys, and fill up your cards quickly, as there are so many, as ever, incidents, and I'm sure there'll be more in the second half. Over £200,000 has been paid out to players so far by taking sports betting, football, and bingo and combining them into the brilliant Match Bingo app. Get your bingo card for this game. Click through via the link in the description or via that QR code up in the top right-hand corner there, and it's 4 bingo cards. Buy 4, get 1 free at the moment. Kevin 40k says, oh yes, the betting ads to bring us luck. Worked last game, so why not? Meme Hook says, Basuma is a lazy party boy. I think Basuma's doing pretty well. Steve Dyer says, looking forward to chatting to you later, Barnaby. Yeah, you too. Randint says, 4 a.m. watch right now. Not a great watch for the sleep I've sacrificed, but I love that we haven't conceded yet. Completely agree. If we don't concede in this game, we're through to the final. It's as simple as that. And with 45 minutes left, Bodø are going to have to start taking more risks. And you would think that hopefully that will lead to some chances on the transition for Spurs. Alan Marsh says, Biss is shocking full stop. I think he's had a good game, mate. It's not about his shooting. Sai's going to go well, says, I think Conte's our manager. Sometimes there's time for Conte ball. We're doing all right at the moment. Kevin 40k says, I'd take a really boring West Ham performance if we get to the final. Completely agree. TSOM, this is an interesting one. Says the pitch is so slow, makes the game boring, like playing in Treacle. I disagree. I think the pitch is pretty quick. I just think we've done really well to kind of cut off the spaces for them to use what they want, which is the zip 1-2 balls in. And like I said, it's just been the blocking of the runners that I've been really impressed with Spurs. Just showing a little bit of, it shows that they've been watching and analysing. Really impressed. Banau finding a way to be negative in a really positive situation. Inter and PSG will be smashing this Bodø side. Shows how far we've slipped. Whatever. C says Richarlison and Kulu suspect, and Udogie is worrying me. I think Udogie's having a really good game. I think Richarlison's having a really good game, and I think we're happy having them at, as Theo says, 33.1% possession for Spurs. I think we're happy with that at the moment. I really do. I think it's been comfortable. Nabola, I agree with you, says stop being negative. I agree. Phil DeRoom says we're keeping good shape, which is good to see. Completely agree. And Scribble Scrabble says Sapporo has had a solid first half. Yeah, I think basically, in the most part, everybody's had a solid first half, and it's going to be about being tactically professional. And one thing, that we also have to bear in mind, if we do concede the first goal, if that happens, then we have to retain our professionalism. We have to not get sucked into the chaos. One of the co-commentators said it, any chaos in this game would suit Bodø down to the ground in terms of getting momentum behind them, in terms of getting the fans behind them. And Spurs have to just keep taking their time, keep retaining the shape, keep making it difficult for them, keep making them go backwards. Laren Deb says, let's ruin these Vikings. Yeah, let's. I agree with that. Justin Hall says, take Johnson off, terrible tackle. Yeah, but it showed he's into the game. I don't mind it. Lubed by Levy says, not worth getting up 2 a.m. to watch this pony. I just put together the poorest group players I've seen for decades. Okay, I mean, I think this kind of shows that really sometimes people are just more interested in trolling than knowing the situation. There is nothing pony about this performance so far. And if you know the reality of the context behind this game and how many clubs have gone to Bodø and been complacent, not taken it seriously and not shown the motivation or the desire, then you would realize how important it is that we're doing what Nick in Hong Kong says. Playing well away from home, more of the same. Dom working hard to disrupt their backline plays. Exactly. And Kevin 40k says, Barnaby and his lucky beer. Well, long may it continue. Long may it continue. Scribble Scrabble says, we need to remain solid and disciplined as long as possible, replying to Alan. Completely agree. TSOM says, can't believe this is a European semi-final. Absolutely no quality on display at all. Having said that, we're doing a job. Listen, just be ecstatic with where we are at the moment, guys. And we just need to keep it continuing. That is the reality. Ken Hartley says, good to hear you being a bit more positive tonight. Yeah, because they're playing in a way that makes it positive. That, as a fan, you react to what you see, do you not? That's just how it is. I'm going to go into Twitter and see what people are saying on X. According to Chris, who's at the game, says the ref was having words with Vicario at halftime. That'll be about his time wasting. You would imagine that Vicario will get booked for time wasting this half, but hopefully it won't happen until very late in the game. Let's see what else is being talked about on Twitter. Not a lot, I guess, just because there haven't been a lot of chances in the game. Yeah, not a lot going on there. Let's see some more of what you guys are saying. Scott Rizal says, Paul, if we're asleep, let's dream of Bilbao. Meme Hook says, like a championship game. And John Lancaster gets it on the nose. All about getting through. Nothing else matters tonight. Cantab says, I'm still nervous as F. I completely agree. It is nerve-wracking. If they get the first goal, if we do something stupid, then it will get incredibly nerve-wracking. But at the moment, I would say this performance is level. They've got possession, but also we're getting into really good positions. So, I'm happy at the moment. Linton, good to see you, Linton. More of the same in the second half. He says, come on, you Spurs. Completely agree. Good point from Kevin here. So size of club of Bodø bears no reflection on the size of the job. And Phil C says, 2-goal lead, the first thing you do is protect it. That's it. And the more time wasting we do, and the more wound up they get, the more they have to try and do things a bit different, try different things. And Spurs hopefully be ready for that. And maybe, just maybe, we can take advantage of that going into, I don't know, the last 20, 25 minutes, bring on some pace, bring on Tell and Odebear when there'll be space in behind them. That's not to say that they would not have to put in a real shift in the same way that Johnson and Richarlison and Kulusevski have done so far. That is the minimum requirement in a game like this. But some spaces to run into going late into the game. And at this point, you'd have to say, and I've been wrong many times before, but you'd have to say at this point, if Spurs can get a goal, it's done. But, I've been wrong before, and Spurs just have to keep going. Twan, this is a really good point. We need more dark arts. That's it. That's it. In a game like this, it's all about the dark arts. Frustrate them. Waste the time. Make it happen. Listen, we waste so much time in that half, and yet the ref only put 1 minute on at the end. That is the reality of it. Playing well. Cantab says, front three pressing well, but will tire, I fear. Yeah, and that's when you bring on Tell and Odebear. Exactly. Mikey Moore even maybe as well. Bryn Griffith says, the most boring European semi-final I've ever seen, but I do understand the reason behind it. And Scribble Scrabble says, maybe Odebear for Johnson and Tell for Rishi. I'd say nothing at the moment. I would keep Rishi on until he's absolutely spent himself. Same with Johnson. Same with Solanke and Kulusevski. Keep them on until they're absolutely spent. I thought we didn't look nearly as good in the second half last week after we took Richarlison off. So give him his break, get him some energy drinks, get him some energy gels, get anything down, get him juiced up, get him jacked up, whatever it takes, get him out there again because he's been doing well, working backwards and forwards. But yes, it is nerve-wracking. They're just showing now the replay of the Atletico Bilbao goal. And it was just a long ball, actually. He put Harry Maguire into some pressure and he plays a bad ball out. And then it's a shot from outside the box blocked. Then a secondary shot bent into the top corner. Beautiful goal from Bilbao. And that is 3-1 on aggregate to Man United at half-time. But gives Bilbao a sniff. 2 goals in both these semi-finals at the moment. It's still very wet and rainy and drizzly, but the Spurs fans waving their scarves in northern Norway. Will Satch says, we'd rather play United or Bilbao. Do you mean you would rather play United than Bilbao? I don't think we need to think about it at the moment, guys. Don't worry too much about it. Thomas Gonzalez says, it's clear that we played to protect our 2-goal lead. We offered 0 attack. At least we're defending well. Del V says, our skill level is non-existent. No flair, no guile. Awful. Mate, are you aware of the circumstances of this tie? Got to think about it. Think about it. It's don't worry about the skill or the guile on show. It's about getting through. Linton says we need more from Kulu in the second half. I agree, but as long as he keeps working hard backwards, that is the most important thing for me now. Players coming back out on the pitch now. So I'm going to break away from the chat. We'll be back straight after the game, guys. Of course, into the chat and with a post-match reaction video. Hopefully that will be after 90 minutes because we've gone through, but if not, after extra time or penalties or whatever happens. 2,500 of you watching at the moment. Thank you so much for your support. Please do subscribe to Chris Cowlin's channel at Chris Cowlin if you haven't already. And also you can see my channel there at the bottom left, youtube.com/@Barnaby Slater_ daily Tottenham content. Also, there will be daily transfer videos over the summer. Come on, you Spurs now. 45 minutes. Keep playing smart. Yeah. Like I said, the one thing that worries me is just that Zagreb game where we allowed ourselves, and that was even under Jose Mourinho, we allowed ourselves to get sucked into a chaotic game from a position of calm when we didn't concede till the 60th minute. Spurs will be shooting left to right in this half. Come on, you Spurs. They're going to roll it back to Romero. And they do, and he'll just, actually, it goes back, I think, to Porro. Oh, but the ref has made them take the kickoff again for some reason. Here we go. Now it goes back to Porro. It's going to try the big old diag. And he does. Up towards Solanke. It's flipped on. I'll tell you what, Kulusevski's made a good run into the box here. Can he win something? Uses his strength. Needs to keep the ball. He doesn't keep the ball, unfortunately, but pressurizes them. And then they go down the line and Spurs might win that. Yes, that should be a Spurs throw. Good stuff from Deki Kulusevski there. And again, Spurs have had more throws in this game than I can remember. But I don't mind it. They're taking their time over it as well. Udogie goes into Richarlison. Can he win something? Or tries to get the cross in, but it goes straight out, unfortunately, on his left foot. That's a goal kick. And they take the kickoff short to the keeper, and he goes long into midfield. It goes over the top of... That was Van der Ven. I think it's a Spurs throw in their own half. You can hear the Spurs fans, all 400 of them. I've been loving watching the social media from all the Spurs fans out in Bodø. Really cool. It's cost them so much money as well. Oh, Spurs have done well down the left now. I think it's Solanke. It's a long camera angle, so I can't see a great deal, but he's running into the box. Oh, lovely from Solanke, wins a corner. Brilliant hold-up play. Brilliant stuff. It's another corner for Tottenham. Brennan Johnson having a little word with Mickey van der Ven. It's got to be an in-swinger. Porro again on it. One arm up, which he's put up every single time so far. Beat the first man. He didn't with the last one. He does with this one. Oh, nearly comes to Romero. And then Kulusevski. It comes all the way through. Kulusevski putting pressure on. And actually, Bodø don't keep the ball on. And so it's a throw-in on the right-hand side for Spurs. Yeah. They're just showing the replay. Spurs taking their time over the throw, of course, which is their prerogative. Refs trying to get on them about it, but that happens any other game where it's not a second leg. Teams take this amount of time all the time. Goes up to Solanke. It's cleared. And then flicked on, but Bentancur gets a touch on it, and Spurs get the ball down. Porro now goes down the line, tries to get a cross in, comes into the box, but Solanke couldn't bring it down. Richarlison with a good bit of work, but actually really well played by Bodø to bring it out. But great work backwards from Richarlison there. That makes Bodø go backwards to their back line. Rishi's putting in such a good shift. It's back with their keeper. And they go down the line past Udogi, who put the press on, but the ball went straight out of play, and that will be a Spurs throw. And the Bodø player tries to throw himself to the ground to win a free kick, but it was never there. "48 minutes gone. Udogi will take this throw. It's about 10 yards inside the Bodø half. And again, always going down the line with their throws. Bodø win it, and then just quite easily chip it into midfield, actually. And then they've got some space in midfield. First time this half, but a really good block from Bissouma. Bodø get the ball down again, but it goes backwards again. And again into their centre-backs line. Good stuff from Biss in central midfield there. And Richarlison presses them all the way back to the keeper again. And Solanke blocking off the easy ball. So the keeper has to go long into midfield. It's flicked on well, actually, and now they're in down the left-hand side. One-on-one, the 23 up against Porro. Johnson coming across to help, which is good stuff from Brennan. Comes back to the 15. Now inside, more narrow, into central midfield. Wide left again, and he's going to try and get to the byline here. And that's good play, the 1-2, but Bentancur sees it all the way and clears it. And actually, that should be a Spurs throw, I think. Brilliant spot from Bentancur. And it is a Spurs throw in their back right-hand corner. Porro's going to go long down the line with this one. And does. Goes a bit narrower and gives it away. He shouldn't have. It should have gone down the line. And in the end, Bentancur, under a bit of pressure, has to hack it out. It's actually Kulusevski has to hack it out. Trying to claim a throw, but it foul, but it wasn't. And now Bodø again in the centre halves. Out to the fullback. Richarlison putting a good shift in. Solanke now bending his run as the centre-back comes into midfield. Johnson, it comes out wide left again. Again, them trying to go narrow with their pass. It's blocked the first one. Comes to the edge of the box. It's back out now. Here comes the cross. All the way to the back post. Huge chance for Bodø, but it hasn't happened yet. Spurs need to get rid of it, and they do. Throw in. Great cross from Bodø. Vic didn't move, really. But so far in this game, Bodø have basically got 2 crosses in the box and both have caused trouble. And they come straight away to the left back now. And again, they come narrow into the box. This is where they scored from the first game. But a good block. Spurs sitting very deep at the moment. And then Spurs get a kick off the ball, and it comes to Johnson, who clears. Up towards Solanke, but he can't get hold of it. Bodø having all the ball this half so far. And the first half, to be fair. And there we go again. Another 1-2 and third man run from Bodø. But a poor pass picks out Richarlison. And can he find a way to keep the ball? He does so far and wins an important free kick in central midfield. Well done, Rishi. That's what they love, Bodø, though. When they're out wide and then they play these little narrow balls into the box. So they're just showing the flip. Tell you what, it's good defending, I think, there from Mickey van der Ven, who got a vital little header. And also from Udogie. Brilliant. Spurs. Good ball in the channel for Solanke. Tries a little cross shot. That's another corner. Come on, let's make a fucking chance from one of these corners. Porro going across again. But that was from the dangerous cross from Bodø. Really was tremendous defending. Van der Ven gets a flick on it, vital to get it away from the striker. And then Udogie with a little back heel at the back post to get it away from the one coming in at the back. Here comes again another in-swinger from Porro. 52 minutes gone. Good delivery. And headed over his own bar. That should be a Spurs corner. Yeah. I can hear the Spurs fans singing when the Spurs go marching in. Pouring out across the other side, taking an outswinger this time. Can Bentancur get across? We flicked one in. Not in. Flicked from the... Oh, they've gone short this time to Kulusevski. He's going to whip it in. Tries the cross. Goes all the way across the box. Cleared by Bodø. And actually a good ball down the line. They played it smart on the transition here, Bodø. But Spurs putting them under pressure with the counter press, but they beat it. This is dangerous. Bodø coming forward on the transition. Bissouma does brilliantly. And he does the hard part and the easy part brilliantly. Oh, and then a good ball. Oh, an attempted ball down the line to Kulusevski, but it goes out of play. Anyway, back with the Bodø centre-back. Those centre-backs have so many touches this game. And Solanke he will have run more than anybody else in this match, as is Richarlison, just endless running. Good shape from Richarlison. So the fullback has to go inside. Now Solanke presses him, gives away a foul. But I don't mind that from Dom. Working so hard. Good lad. 54 minutes gone. Bodø take the free kick quickly, as ever. Comes out to the fullback. Richarlison again working hard. Coming narrow now. The Bodø fans getting their scarves going, trying to get behind their team. And again, back with the centre-backs. They play into midfield, but Kulusevski's picked it up. Gives it into Richarlison. And he can't get it out of his feet, unfortunately. And now a little bit of a transition chance for Bodø. And a good tackle from Van der Ven. Wins it and gets up as well. And he's going to the byline, Van der Ven. And then one of the worst crosses in the history of football. And he's got to get back up. But good stuff. And Rishi couldn't get it out of his feet. Now they're coming back down past Brennan Johnson. They play a good ball down line. Good football from Bodø, and they're in here. Bissouma's got to stand up. Bissouma chased his runner well, though. They hold it up, but that's good play from Bodø. But Spurs get a foot in with Porro. Oh, no, but Kulusevski gives it away and then gives away a foul. But I don't mind that. And they take it quickly. Of course they do. But the ref asked them to come back. And the free kick is just halfway inside the Spurs half. And they've taken it quickly again, Bodø. They're in that area where they scored the goal from the first day. It's a great cross. Good defending from Van de Ven in the air. And then Udogie with a header. And he's blocked Udogie. But not given. And Richarlison helps out. And it comes back to the centre line, sorry. Bodø again put their foot on it. Great defending from Van de Ven again. Bodø knocking it about, comes to the left fullback now. Again, trying that little ball inside, but Bissouma picks it off and then gets a bit lucky. And Johnson ends up playing it down the line into the channel. Spurs not able to keep the ball at all, unfortunately. And Bodø coming forward, but a good tackle from Bentancur. But again, Spurs not strong in the 50-50s. Bodø stronger in the 50-50s in the halfway line. And they come narrow. This time, Bissouma's in a good place. Gets it back to Vicario, who gives it first time to Bentancur. Porro tries something a bit different. Long over the top to Richarlison. It's a beautiful ball from Porro. And now Richarlison's fronting up his man. He's got a runner. He's got Udogie with him. Oh, and Richarlison has tried. Oh, no. Terrible ball. He's got to work back here, Rishi. And he does. Now, another chance. Oh, they've got it narrow. They're in a good area here. They're going to try a little chip through ball. And they found it out wide here. They tried to get a free kick. It's a good cross. And Vicario doesn't seem to be moving, but that was a real chance at the back post for Bodø. Yeah, and Solanke wins a great free kick. So the cross comes in here. And it's Udogie defends well at the back. Bodø putting more crosses in now. They realise, I don't know why it's taken them so long to realise based on the season that I've watched. They've realised that Tottenham, not great at defending crosses, but so far Udogie doing well. And Bodø are making 2 subs now. And Tell coming on for Spurs. Long ball from Vicario. Good flick on from Solanke. Finds Richarlison out wide left. And he wins a throw-in. It'll be Richarlison who comes off. I don't like it. I think Richarlison's putting in a great shift. I don't think we should take him off. I know he didn't make the right decision there in that one-on-one, but I really think the physicality that he's bringing is important. 60 minutes gone. Throw comes into Rishi in the box. Trying to turn his man. Comes to Udogie in a tight space. Can he get the ball in? It's blocked. Header cleared. Second header. Can Spurs get on the end of it? And then a poor shot over the bar from Bentancur. Oh, look, Ange knows better than me, but I just feel like when we took Richarlison off last week, we really missed his physicality. Both ends. But defensively especially. Anyway, they're taking off the number 9, Ho. So 2 subs for Bodø. Now, is it Rishi coming off for Spurs? It is Richarlison coming off. I hope it falls for Tell where he gets space one-on-one like Richarlison just did, but he's got to put in a shift the same way Richarlison did, forwards and backwards. Richarlison played really well in my opinion. That's exactly what the co-coms is saying. 60 minutes gone now. Bodø have the goal kick. They play it straight to their keeper. Solanke forces him to go long into midfield. Well, and it's held up really nicely by the sub, but well played in midfield. Now, you've done the hard part. Do the easy pass. Well done, Bissouma. Bissouma breaks forward now. Can he find the right ball to Brennan? Comes narrow, actually. Now he finds Johnson. Well played. Johnson goes back. You've got a man on you now, Biss. Comes back, Johnson. Spurs put their foot on the ball, and it comes back to Porro. Good stuff from Spurs. Comes to Romero. He's got Van der Ven with him. Finds him. Van der Ven now being pressed. Opens it out to Doggy. He's got Tell outside him. Tell shape to go down the line. But he'd come short by then. But just don't give away a free kick here, Matthias. And that's it. You've done really well there, Matthias Tell. Wins a throw-in. Good lad. 61 minutes. You can hear the Spurs fans. Oh, Kulusevski tried to turn his man in the box. It's cleared, and another throw for Spurs. Okay, they go down the line towards Solanke. It's won by Bodø, and they clear it. It's blocked by a Spurs player, so it's a Bodø Glimt throw-in on the far side. They go backwards, as they have been doing all game. Then he plays a very horrible pass back to his keeper, and the keeper kicks it away. And that should be a booking. It's frustrated to kick it away, but keeper should be booked for that. Tell is going to take this corner. Tell's got to be careful here. He bends it in. It's a deep one. Nobody's really deep. Romero wins the first one. Goal! Come on! Dominic Solanke! Romero won it at the back post. Deep corner from Tell. Come on, you Spurs! What a moment! 4-1 on aggregate, and now Bodø are going to have to properly come out and play. Brilliant corner from Tell. Big win at the back post from Romero. Solanke in front of the keeper. Come on, you Spurs! Now come on, play smart. The co-commentator calling it exactly how I called it at halftime. We've been professional. Double fist in the air for Ange. It's not over, though. Keep playing professionally. Keep taking your time. Make them come to you. Make them come to you. Keep the football. 63 minutes gone. Solanke deserves that. He's put in an unbelievable shift. Spurs trying to press really high straight away, though. I wonder if the adrenaline's got the better of them because it's allowed them to come down the right-hand side, and they're in through the middle here, Bodø. But well played, Christian Romero. Oh, but then his pass gives it away, and Romero's completely out of the game, and Udogie does the same. Tottenham are being mental here, letting this get into chaos. But Udogie wins it back. Now just calm. Calm. Udogie driving forward. He needs to be calm. Give it short to Tell, and he does. Can Tell win something? No, he just loses the ball. Tottenham don't get dragged into chaos here. They just had an adrenaline rush there straight after the game. A goal, understandable. But just put your foot on the ball when you get it. And Bodø kicked it off the pitch accidentally. And now Spurs can take their time over this throw-in. And the Spurs fans loving this up in Northern Europe. Solanke, big smile on his face. 25 minutes to go. Play smart. Play smart. Don't concede. Spurs have lost the ball down the line, but good touch from Porro. Romero gives it to him. Porro comes inside and is pushed off the ball. Good play from Porro. Really good play. I can't believe I've just had this thought process, but I do wonder if Ange will about whether to take Van der Ven off. But I don't want him to. I desperately don't want him to, but I bet it's in his head. Vicario is going to get his booking now, and he does. Vicario goes long with the free kick up towards Solanke. Tries to hold it up well, Solanke, but he's just beaten by the central midfielder. He brings it out wide left now. And again, They only know one way to play Bodø, and they bring it back to their centre halves. And it goes back to their keeper, who has to go long because of the press. 2 Spurs players go for the same ball, but it drops in to Porro, who goes back to Vicario. And he's going to go long again. Up over the top of Johnson. Pleased for Matthias Tell. Gets with that kind of pre-assist for the goal with a good corner. The first kind of proper deep corner we put in, actually. Their keeper has to go long again. And this time, kicks it straight out of play. Come on, you Spurs. Come on. Come on. 66 minutes gone. And now Pat Matasar is going to come on for Spurs. For Brennan Johnson. So Kulusevski to go to the right. Spurs now stodging up the midfield. Bardi from the extra inch would say the most stodgy midfield seen in the history of time with Sarr, Bentancur and Bissouma. But there are legs in there. Johnson went down on the floor, I think probably pretending he was injured, just to take a bit of time out of the game. And Sarr comes on. Use your engine, Pap. Use your legs. Up and down. Work hard. Make it difficult for them. Keep the press on. Spurs throw down the left. Again, they go down the line. It's flicked on. That looks offside to me. Yeah, and it is. Solanke, absolute fucking workhorse. Bodø now in their right back position for the first time, looking like they're tempted to go long with the free kick. And they are. The keeper's going to take it long. The very first time, I think, in 2 legs, they've done that, showing that now they're going to have to play a different way. Try and fight for scraps in midfield. They win the first ball, comes up. Van der Ven wins the second one. Comes to a doggy. Tell tries the dummy. And it comes in narrow. Tell pressing them. And Spurs pressing them back out to the fullback. And Tell's going to have to put a shift in here. And he keeps working, but he stops. Don't stop, Matthias. Does well. Has to come narrow. And then Solanke putting in a shift as well to bring it all the way to the left-hand side fullback. He comes narrow. Kulusevski gets wrong side, so they come all the way forward here, but a good block here. And it comes to Tell. Plays a good ball to Udogi, who could use his pace here. Udogi now fronting up Svjoland, coming into the box. Gets it out to Pat Matasar, who opens the ball out to Kulusevski, who's got Porro outside him, gives it to him. Porro tries the early cross. It's a goal! Pedro Porro, it's all over. We're going to Bilbao. We're going to Bilbao. Pedro Porro's miss-hit cross into the far corner. 2-0 on the night. 5-1 on aggregate. It's glory, glory. Well done. Let's give some credit to Big Ange Postecoglou as well. He talks about only being able to play one way, but when it matters, he knows how to set up the team. So happy. Udogi drove down the left-hand side, held the ball up, got it to Sarr, opens his body out, then Kulusevski gives it to Porro, and Porro's trying to get an early cross in first time, and the keeper stranded in off the far post. Time for the second beer of the night, lads and lasses. We're going to Bilbao. Even I cannot see them scoring 4 goals from here to take it to extra time. Spurs now need to play tight, keep it the same, make them do bizarre stuff. And they're getting down the left here, and that should be a free kick. And he doesn't give the free kick. And now Bodø making 2 more subs. They know they have to go for it. It's going to be space all over this pitch now. What a performance from Tottenham Hotspur so far. So professional. Saltness, who scored in the first leg, hasn't done much tonight, and he goes off. And Kulusevski finds some space, beats his man down the right. He looks naturally more comfortable on the right. Gives a ball out to Solanke, and actually good defending. It comes off Solanke last. Bodø go quickly. We're into the 71st minute now. Spurs just need to play smart. Let everything come to them. And Mason Mount has scored at Manchester United. Very much now looking like a Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United final in Bilbao. Wow. What a time to be alive. 2 of the drossiest clubs in the Premier League fighting it out for a Champions League place in beautiful sunny Spain. Anyway, Bodø playing it down the right now. Good stuff, but a great tackle, and it falls to Tell. And he puts it down the channel for Solanke. Good defending, to be fair. Spurs, just take your time. Take your time, lads. Take your fucking time. 3,000 of you watching concurrently this magic performance from Tottenham Hotspur tonight. Big Ange Postecoglou proving his doubters wrong. $18 minutes to go, but Bodø need 4. Even on the magic plastic pitch, it's hard to see them getting 4. Spurs just need to keep playing. Play for that clean sheet. I said at the start of the game, I can't see them keeping a clean sheet. Well, terrible from Bentancur. He tries to slide in. And then Romero gives away a free kick on the halfway line. Probably could have been 2 bookings there, but the ref doesn't give any. And Bodø, actually now Sarr might get booked for blocking the free kick. Anyway, Bodø, as ever, have taken it quickly. And now they go for the big, long diag. And that's the first diag I've seen in the game. Comes towards Porro, but Porro's beaten in the air. And now the 23 beats him on the outside. But Kulusevski working his nuts off. It's another throw. We're gonna have to put it in for another 15 minutes here, Spurs. Actually, one of the players has gone down, has he? Romero's gone down. I wonder if he's just trying to take some time. I hope he's not properly injured here. Didn't see what happened. Oh, he's stamped on Romero. That looks a bit naughty, actually. Now, if I was Ange, I would have Romero off right now because you know he'll try and get revenge. And he's already on a booking from the first leg. Anyway, the free kick is taken. Ange, get Romero off. Spurs press it all the way back to the keeper again. Tell a little bit late on the press, but it forces and actually gets a block on it. Basuma picks it up, does well, goes down the line. Might have been Tell. Anyway, it comes down the line. It's hard to see because it's far away. And the ball goes off for a Bodø. It was Tell. Goes off for a Bodø throw. 15 minutes to go. Ange looks proud, and he should be. I'm so pleased for him. I'm so pleased for him. What a nightmare situation he's had all year. Oh, Solanke's got a chance. Oh, do you know what? Solanke, they played a bad ball back to the keeper, and Solanke could have gone in for a 50-50 there, but he chose fitness. Good decision. Who do Spurs have at the weekend? Is it Palace? I honestly don't know or care. Anyway, don't know why I even thought about it. I guess because Solanke pulled out of that 50-50 so he wouldn't get injured. Anyway, Udogie throws it down the line. He's had a good game, Udogie. Spurs lose it. Ball comes across to the centre half. 15 minutes left. Spurs have done so well to just keep the ball with the Bodø centre-backs and going back to their keeper most of the game and the full-backs. And here it comes to the full-back again. That is what they've done really well. Wide forward comes in narrow, beats Kulusevski, keeps running, gets a foot in well. And then the ref gives a free kick. Bit lucky for Bodø. Free kick's about 20 yards inside the Spurs half. Berg, as ever, wanting to do it quickly. So he opens it out to the left-hand side. Kulusevski's in shape. Then they try a lovely little dink ball, but Bentancur is there, gets his body on it, and that is a Spurs goal kick. Brilliant, more brilliant defensive play from Bentancur. Imagine that night out in the North Pole tonight. They're showing the Spurs fans. They've got their flags. They've got their scarves. Even though it's 11 quid a pint out there, they're going to get mega pissed. Absolute. I love it. I love it. Vicario goes along with the kick. Good lad. First win from Bodø. Comes to Van de Ven. Just get rid. He does. Comes into midfield. Hacked out by Bodø player, I think. Yep, that's a Spur. Oh, no. The ref has... The liner's given it the other way, and Ange isn't happy about that. So it comes back to their back line. Tell puts a bit of pressure on. Solanke, as ever, putting pressure on. 77th minute. Kulusevski still working hard. Bodø playing it around in central midfield here. They get the ball inside, but Kulusevski's there. Gives it to Bentancur. A little one. Oh, beautiful round the corner from Kulusevski to himself. And then he's got three men around him here, Decky, and wins a throw. Beautiful from Decky. And again, Pedro Porro taking time over the throw. Why not? Why not? Ah, Bilbao, boys, Bilbao. Please, can we enjoy this final more than 22 seconds than when I was in Madrid, sorry, for the Champions League final. 22 seconds was all I got to enjoy that for. Oh, bit of pressure on the keeper there, and he nearly makes a mistake, and Kulusevski presses the fullback. And that is a dead leg by the looks of things to the fullback. He doesn't look happy about that. But he has to pretend he's not injured to make it happen quickly. Bodø, I think, might have even made all their subs. Perhaps Sarr working hard. Gives away a free kick. The atmosphere in the stadium has gone. It's just the Spurs fans you can hear. Don't forget, guys, I will be giving you the post-match reaction straight after the game. As Solanke again works his nuts off. Sarr does well in midfield here. And then he's fouled. I'll give you the post-match reaction straight after the game. Then it'll be the fan show where I speak to Spurs fans from all around the world. If you want to be a part of that for a future game, email tottenhamfanchris@gmail.com. That's tottenhamfanchris@gmail.com. I see, Scott, you're already in the green room. You're a bit early, mate. Come back in about 10, 15 minutes time, mate. I can't be looking at you for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Love you as I do. Looks like you're around the swimming pool, lad. Good lad. Anyway, Spurs get the ball to Porro on the right. He gets an early cross in. It's cleared at the back post. Oh, it looked like it might fall for Tell, but Udogie worked hard. But actually, Udogie's been taken out there by the fullback, and he's driving forward. And they get a ball in behind, but Romero's in good shape. Gets it back to Vicario. Just needs to get rid of this. But he doesn't. He plays it beautifully to Van de Ven, to be fair. And Van de Ven, oh, he went for the long one, but it was blocked. And the Bodø player was offside. Now we're into the 80th minute. United have scored again. It's going to be an all-English final. Wow. Jamie Carragher said there's no way that Tottenham will beat Manchester United if they make it to a final of a Europa League. Well, if I'm Ange Postecoglou, I am printing that up and putting it in the changing room and showing these boys and saying, you prove them all wrong. because that's what everyone thinks. Now, Bodø have got to the edge of the box for the first time in a while. They try a little intricate back heel. Then they get it out wide right here. They might make a chance. Spurs have got men, though. Bissouma does wonderfully. Good stuff from Bis. Got to keep going here, though, because they've won it back, Bodø. They're about 15 yards outside the Spurs box. They get it, force it out wide. 81 minutes gone. Play it inside, but Spurs win it and get it straight away to Tell now. And he's got some room to run. He cuts in well. Can he find Solanke? Oh, it's a poor ball. Solanke. He wins a free kick well, though. And that should be a booking, really. Oh, the ref plays play on. And Spurs get the ball down. Now, if I'm Spurs, just olay it for the next 10 minutes. Because Bodø are done. They are Romeo done. Comes out wide to Udogi. Gives it to Tell. Goes for the follow-on. Udogi gets his body in the way well. Should give it back to Tell and go again. Tell comes back to Van der Ven. Just lay it around now, by which I mean just knock it about. Bentaker is on it. Lays it out wide to Porro. He comes narrow. And he's actually going to have to end up going back to Vicario. Oh, no, Romero is just super deep. So he goes to Vicario. He needs an option. So Vicario is having to kick this long with his left foot, is he? And he does. It's actually a good clearance up towards Tell. It goes over him. Solanke gets his body in the way. And then that was a handball by looks of things. But no, Bodø win it back around the halfway line. Tottenham have not been in the final of the UEFA Cup / Europa League since 1984. They've only been in 2 European finals in my life. Huge day. Bodø come forward into the box on the edge. But Spurs' shape always forces them to make a pass back. It comes over the top of Porro. Gets a huge foot in. And Kulusevski now breaks forward. Brilliant from Porro. He's had a great game. And Kulusevski, as he loves to, drives down the right. He's on his own. Wins a throw-in. Lovely stuff. Like I said, only 2 European finals in my lifetime, Tottenham Hotspur. And we'll be in another one. And it is no small feat. No small feat. And now we need to go and beat Manchester United for the 4th time this season. That's what we need to do. Porro with a throw. 7 minutes of normal time left. I don't think the ref will do too much in terms of added time. You wouldn't think. Kulusevski back to Porro. Porro does well. Again, opens up some space. Looking for the big old diag. I don't think he's got enough on that. Comes to the fullback. Tell, you have to work back, mate. Come on, keep working. Put in a shift like we've put. Solanke putting in a shift. Come on, Matthias. Come on, Matthias. You've got to put in your shift backwards as well. I know they're not going to score 4 goals, but still, let's keep this clean sheet. Let's get Vicario in front of those 400 fans at the end of this game. And like I said last week, and I want it. This isn't about Daniel Levy giving these players watches saying, congratulations, you are a finalist. This is about us trying to win it this time. Win something. Bodø get to the edge of the box again. They lay it out wide. Good opportunity here for Bodø. They're in the box. They dink one. Romero gets a good header on it. Solanke wins the second one outside the box. Using his muscle. Tell. And now it's Romero trying to bring it out to Tell. And Romero's making a secondary run there. But now he's nowhere near the box. And he has to work back, Romero. What are you doing, man? But good defending from Spurs by Udogi. But that's what I'm saying. We won the throw as well. Well done, Destiny. It's all about, for me, going into that final with only one thing in our minds. Win it, win it, win it. I don't want to see them celebrating this like it's a huge thing. I want them to save all of their energy. Unlike, I get why we were like that in Amsterdam. It was the last minute. It was huge, of course. Pochettino running onto the pitch. Kane running onto the pitch. Energy. It was like we never expect to get to a Champions League final, but this is different now. We've got to go to that final and win it. That's all that matters, win it. And to Manchester United, you've got to think, as a club, winning the Europa League means so much less to them than us. For them, it's just about getting back in the Champions League. For us, it's about the trophy. And I do not want to see Romero or Van der Ven playing a game for the next 2 weeks. Just on the bench, or they're in the box here. Good sliding tackle from Romero. That's a corner to Bodø Glimt. Good stuff from Christian. Lovely from Romero and a big chest bump. But you get what I'm saying? Just treat this like what we had to do and then get on the plane, get home and concentrate on that final. And United have scored again with Højlund. 3-1, 6-1 on aggregate in their semi-final. Here comes the in-swinger from Berg. Comes to the back post. Good first header from Spurs. I think it was Van der Ven. And then the ball comes out. And they play it down the line. Poor first touch, unfortunately, I think, from Porro. And that's a throw-in to Bodø. 4 minutes left. This will be Tottenham's 6th European final in our history. Not to be sniffed at. Spurs are on their way to Bilbao. And Big Ange, full credit to him. Full credit to him. Bodø trying to play it through now, and the ball breaks to Tell out wide. Just put your foot on it, Spurs. And they go back to Van der Ven, who lets it go to Vicario, and he clears it long. Good lad. Comes up into midfield. Sarr tries to flick it on. Quite ugly, but he gets the second one. And this is the point where if I'm Ange, take off Van der Ven, take off Solanke, take off Romero. I know they want the clean sheet, but just let them get their applause from 400 Spurs fans. Bring on Danso, bring on Moore, bring on Davies, and then literally wrap them in cotton wool or oxygen tents or whatever it is between now and the 21st of February, when there will be an exodus from North London to Bilbao. Huge. One thing that I guess will be a shame as Bodø try and play it down the right, but Spurs do well, is that it's another game in a final against a huge legacy English club. And I really noticed when I was in Madrid for the Champions League final, Liverpool fans weren't just everywhere in the stadium. It was kind of half and half in the stadium, but there were more Liverpool fans in the kind of non-partisan ends. It was going to be a shot here, straight down Vicario's throat, and he grabs it at the second attempt. But also in the city of Madrid, it was absolutely packed with Liverpool fans and Spurs fans. They filled out their allocation. There were a lot of Spurs fans everywhere, but because it's a big legacy British club, Man United will fill the city, I imagine. But it's something we're going to have to fight against. We're going to have to fight against them probably having more fans in the city. But if we keep Van der Ven and Romero fit and Solanke and, you know, Udogie and Porro too, and a fair few others, but we've got a good chance. Whereas against Liverpool in that final, Liverpool had got the better of us for a while under Klopp by that point. At this point, Spurs know they can beat them. Cross comes in. Porro defends well at the back post. Comes to the edge of the box. Chance for a shot here. They try and dink one through. They love those little dinks into the boxes, Bodø Glimt. We're into the 89th minute. Keep this clean sheet, boys. They're still fighting for each other. Bodø still tapping it around, but they haven't got in behind us once in this game. And frankly, they didn't in the first leg either. Their goal was just a deflected shot when they got into the box pretty much once. 89th minute. This has just been a majestic, pragmatic performance from Tottenham Hotspur. Professional all the way. Just fantastic to watch. That is a goal kick to Spurs. Romero, they're loving it. They are loving this performance, this Spurs team, especially the defenders. So many nerves before this game, but frankly, the way we've done in both legs, there shouldn't have been. But being a Spurs fan for all your life, it brings you those nerves. I don't care. Happy to admit it. 3 minutes added. Tottenham are on their way to Bilbao. Come on. If we win it, we'd be in the European Super Cup. Beginning of next season. Big if. Big if. Just got to keep Bruno Fernandes quiet. Not just that, but that's going to be one of the big, big elements. Keep Bruno Fernandes quiet in that final. 2.5 minutes to go now. Bodø Glimt coming forward again. But Spurs, come on, just stay smart. Stay smart. A cross is going to come in the box now. Here it comes. Cleared at the front stick from Romero. He's had another great game. Udogie brings it away. Little 1-2. Lovely stuff. 1-2 with Tell. Udogie driving forward. Brilliant. Oh, and he was pushed off the pitch there, Udogie. He didn't go for it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. 2 minutes to go until the final whistle goes. Oh, it's Tell, is it? He's been pushed off the pitch. And he looks like he's picked up what could be an ankle injury here, Matthias Tell. This doesn't look good. Oh, it's a stamp on his foot. That's okay. First goal, Romero back stick header to Solanke from a corner. Romero just showed such desire there. That's what he can do. It's so frustrating. Doesn't get on the pitch enough and then only brings it for the big games, but that's fine. Bring it for the final, Christian. One of the things that makes me think we could actually win this tournament is that Romero has seen it and done it. He has seen it and done it. World Cup, 2 Copa Americas. Second goal, Pedro Porro. Miss-hit cross, don't care. Anyway, the game started again. Tell's all right. Bodø coming forward. 1 minute to keep that clean sheet. I'm fascinated to see how the Spurs players react when the whistle goes here, because I want it to be excitable, but also calm, as Romero does some more brilliant defending. And frankly, if you are Big Ange Postecoglou, when you have your meeting with Daniel Levy at the end of the season, you say to him, well, look, if I've got my team there, if I've got my back four, then we don't concede goals. And the Bodø manager has just gone and shaken the hand of Big Ange. I'm so pleased for Big Ange Postecoglou tonight. I really am. Like I've said all season, I'm desperate for it to work out for him. I'd love him to lift this trophy. There's nothing I'd love more. Anyway, 10 seconds left. Kulusevski gets the ball down in midfield, but loses it. Berg comes forward, tries to dink one forward into the box. They're in! Oh, the ref's given a penalty. Last kick of the game. You can't believe it. Porro. No, he got the ball. I think Porro's got the ball. Yeah, he's got the ball. That should be overturned. That should be overturned because Porro's kicked the ball out of play there. So it's going to VAR. He kicked the ball off. He didn't touch him. He kicked the ball out of play. Classic Spurs way to end this, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind if this ended with Vicario saving a pen. But either way, it doesn't matter because they're going to need 4 goals in no minutes. Come on, ref. You made the wrong decision there. And he's going to the monitor. It's going to be overturned. And he runs to the wrong side, doesn't know where the monitor is. This is going to be overturned, and I'm really pleased for the back four about this because they are going to get their clean sheet. Come on, you Spurs. He gets the ball. They've slowed it down, but he kicks the ball out. And he doesn't even touch the player. And the ref only has to look at it once. So what will that be? A corner? No penalty. Really good defending from Porro. He was wrong side, but he got his foot on the ball. And the player, frankly, just dives over. And the ref gets a bit excited. But that's what VAR is for. And I'm here for it. And now cleared from Vicario. And this should be the end. I'll be honest, I did not see this being this comfortable. That is the end. Tottenham Hotspur have won 2-0 in Northern Norway and will go through to the Europa League final in Bilbao on the 21st of May. And I'm just waiting before I do the match review because I want to soak in how the Spurs fans are reacting. They're happy. The players are happy, but it's not over the top. And that's what I was calling for. It's job done. Basuma looking happy, but not overly happy. As in, not overexcited. It's half a job done. Anyway. This is my instant match review to the Bodø Glimt 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2, Europa League semi-final second leg. Tottenham Hotspur go through 5-1 on aggregate. And the game has only just finished. The players are out on the pitch. And I just mentioned it during the watch along. I'll mention it again. What I love about this is they're not going over the top. They're happy, but it's not like Amsterdam. And the fans aren't going over the top either. They know they've done a job. They know they're through to the final. They're celebrating with the fans, but half a job done. Half a job done. Now, in Bilbao, 21st of May, Manchester United, All England final. We've beaten them 3 times this season. We know how to do it. We now just have to do it. And between now and then, you keep Romero wrapped in cotton wool. You keep Van der Ven wrapped in cotton wool. Both of them colossal tonight. Udogi and Porro, colossal tonight. You wrap Bentancur in cotton wool. You wrap Solanke in cotton wool. Colossal tonight. Huge. We played this game smartly. We played this game professionally. And people will get on our case. Oh, it wasn't exciting. It wasn't full of flair. It wasn't full of guile. It doesn't matter. You do what it takes to get through. And that's where I have to give Big Ange Postecoglou so much credit. He has talked about changing the mentality of this club. He has talked about changing us to playing a certain way. And he's kept to that in the Premier League. But in this knockout competition, where it's all or nothing, where it's the last chance saloon, he has played smart. He has played professional. And tonight, as in the first leg, they didn't give Bodø a sniff. They didn't give them a sniff. They blocked out the gaps. They didn't allow the runs. I'm going to call out Brennan Johnson. I've been calling all week on my videos on my channel saying Tottenham Hotspur against Bodø Glimt. Bodø Glimt are just all about 1-2s and third man runs. And Brennan Johnson all tonight blocking the fullback from getting past him, giving the ball and then blocking his run. Spurs were doing it all night. Bissouma had a good game. Bentancur had a good game. I'm just so pleased for these players. I'm so pleased for Ange Postecoglou. I cannot tell you. Just fully deserved and just shuts everyone up. Listen, we have been talking about it for years. This is what a lot of Spurs fans have been saying. I would take 17th in the league if we won a trophy. Well, now we have a shot at it. And look, yes, we've got some injuries, but Sonny may be back for then. It'll be interesting whether he gets a kick in. I think Richarlison did really well. He got 60. He's just celebrating in front of the fans with a scarf up there, Rishi. Good lad. But he put in 60 minutes of non-stop shift tonight, Richarlison. From the left-hand side, he was spent by the end, but endless back and forth. So whether Sonny gets straight back in, I don't know. But we, of course, will miss Bergvall. We'll miss Maddison. But Kulusevski put a shift in today. And Yves Bissouma, who was basically done at this club. Ange Postecoglou, as far as I'm concerned, had said to him, maybe not with words, but with actions, you are not going to play for me again. And now, because of injuries, he is being forced to play and he's putting in performances, worked his heart out today and did the hard things well, which he always does. But most importantly, did the easy things well. 5 yards, 10 yards. Ange Postecoglou there applauding the fans. I'm so pleased for him. I've said it all season. There's nothing I want more than for this to work out for Ange Postecoglou and for him to lift that trophy. And he has a shot at it. He has a shot at shoving it all down our throats. He has a shot at saying to us, I've won you your first European trophy since 1984. And yeah, the league season has been bad. And yeah, we've conceded the same goal over and over again in the Premier League. But a chance to get us into the Champions League, to win a European competition. One player, again, I want to talk about tonight. Dominic Solanke. He's been taking stick from Spurs fans, which, in my opinion, has been completely unwarranted. Spurs fans, because he hasn't scored enough goals. We don't make him any chances. Tonight, he got a chance. He puts it away. But more importantly, all night, all the first leg as well, doggies, all night, just runs, blocking off pass routes, blocking off spaces, pressing the goalkeeper, unbelievable fitness, 0 minutes to 94 minutes. Honestly, he is such an incredible signing for us, that player. And, if we gave him more chances, he would be a 20, 25 goal a season man. And listen, look, big hug there for Bissouma from Ange Postecoglou. I love that. And this is where I think it actually also helps. You hear about Postecoglou a lot, don't you? How he doesn't really talk to the players one-on-one. He doesn't want to be seen to be getting too close to any of them and having favorites and stuff like that. So Bissouma's hugging him there because he's like, well, you've never told me that it's over for me. And when it comes to it, you've given me a place in the team and I've proven to you that I can do it. I'm so happy. And I'm booking my ticket to Bilbao. I haven't got a ticket for the game. I haven't got a hotel room. I haven't got anything. But I will get there, and I don't care how. I don't care if I'm watching it in a pub in the city. I will be there with the Spurs fans. Just like I was in Amsterdam. I didn't have a ticket for that game, but I was in the city, in the square. One of the best nights of my life. Fell to my knees in tears when we got that last-minute winner. And if we can turn over Manchester United in the final in Bilbao on the 21st of May, I will be crying again. Let me do my match ratings. I'm just so happy and just incredible how professional. It was a real throwback actually to the first 10 games of last season when we got so excited where we were like, could we? Because the team that he had, when he had his back four in place, when he had Bentancur and Bissouma playing at their best in front of them, they were magnificent and so hard to beat. And I feel for Ange in a way because he will say to Levy, I said it earlier, but he will say to Levy, when I've got my back four available and they're all playing at their best and they're not injured, we're incredibly difficult to get past. And that's true. And I'm not going to talk about any negatives. I'm just going to say that. But in terms of match ratings, Vicario made an important save in the first half from a Berg free kick that I think he mishit it, Berg, but it was heading kind of Ronaldinho, David Seaman style to the back top corner. And he got his footwork right and he tipped it over the bar. So I'm going to give Vicario a 7. Pedro Porro, I'm going to give a 9. Up and down all day, but also defending his back post really well. Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero, 9. They wanted it. They were chest bumping. It was so clear to me from minute one that all they wanted was a clean sheet tonight and nothing was going to get past them. Destiny Udogie, I'm going to give a 9.5. Up and down the side, the whole game, endless. Engine, back to his best. What a player. As I see Pedro Porro and Dominic Solanke hugging on the pitch and Porro giving it all of that to the 400 Spurs fans. In midfield, Bentancur, 8. Just sweeping up things. Didn't have to do anything pretty tonight. Just sweeping up endlessly all night. Bissouma, 8.5. For the pressure that he's under, for the amount he's been slated by myself as well. It shows there's a proper player there. He just needs to get his mind right. He's got every attribute, that boy. He's strong. His work off the ball is really good when he puts his mind to it. His work on the ball is brilliant. But he just loses concentration. But none of that in these semi-finals. And he will be one of the first names on the team sheet in that final. He needs to be. We need to wrap him in cotton wool. We need him. So I'm going to give him an 8.5. Kulusevski, a 7. Not a great game, but kept on working. He's still not quite there, and he's one of the players who will need minutes between now and the final. But actually, when towards the end of the game, when he was pushed out right, when Pat Matsar came on, he looked more comfortable straight away. He was a little more lost in central midfield. So Kulusevski, I'll give a 7. Johnson worked really hard. I'm going to give him 7.5. Good lad. I've talked about him already. On the left, Richarlison, I'm going to give an 8. Absolute workhorse. And has a real chance of playing in a Europa League final from the start, Richarlison. Even though all the rumours are right now that we're going to potentially sell him to Everton. So many players who have something to fight for their future at Spurs in the Premier League. And he's one of them. And then Solanke, I'm going to give my man of the match to Dominic Solanke. Absolute workhorse. Got his goal. Put it away. Endless. 9.5 out of 10 for Dominic Solanke. In terms of the substitutes, Tell worked hard, got a pre-assist. I'll give him a 7, 7.5 maybe. Sarr just put his body about, give him a 7. Who else came on? I can't even remember. Listen, I just cannot tell you how happy I am that Tottenham, for once, they made it easy. They made it comfortable. Honestly, if I was a neutral watching that game, I'd be like, oh, well, Tottenham haven't even given away a chance. No other team is going to win that game. But because I'm a Spurs fan since 1987, there's always a part of me that's like, something mad's going to happen. Even when they needed, when we got the first goal and they needed 3 to level us, I was like, oh, you don't know. But when it got to 4, I was like, nah, you are done. Bodo are done. And listen, I'll finish this off by saying credit to Bodo Glimt. They've got a good manager. They try and play football the right way. But Tottenham were too professional. They had too much class and they played like a team. Tottenham matched the team known for playing like a team by playing like a team and all working for each other. And as a result, Bodø did not get a sniff in 2 legs. In fact, their goal in the first leg was just caused by a deflection. Tottenham, just their analysis, all credit to the backroom staff. The analysis was top notch. They put us under no pressure other than a few crosses here or there. And just watching some of the shots of the Spurs fans, they're going to have a mega night in Norway tonight. And I want to end this once again by just saying, well done, Ange Postecoglou. Well done. Under so much pressure, pretty much every European game for the last 2-3 months has potentially been your last. But it's clear, this is the clear thing, and I'll end on this. The difference between Conte and Mourinho and Postecoglou, and Nuno as well, is that the players didn't want to play for them. Even when the results were bad, the players didn't want to play for them anymore. But these players are still playing for Ange Postecoglou. Even though I worried during that Everton first half when we were 3-0 down that maybe they weren't, or I worried against Tamworth, it's clear. And Daniel Levy, you've got to give some credit to him as well for this, because it's clear to him, obviously, that the players still want to play for Ange as well. And as a result, we are in just the second European final of my lifetime. And I will be going to Bilbao, and I hope you will be joining me there for the week of the 21st of May. And if you have any ticket options, guys, for the game, any insight, you send it my way. Email me, message me, whatever, because I want to be in that stadium. Listen, guys, been a glory night for Spurs. Pragmatic, conservative, professional. But I'm here for it. I love it. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like it. Please do subscribe to the channel, and let's enjoy these last couple of weeks of the football season. And something magical could happen. Come on, you Spurs. Okay, guys, welcome to the fan show after Tottenham Hotspur have given a footballing lesson to Bodø Glimt out in northern Norway. Bodø 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. There was only one team in it over 2 legs, a fully professional performance. In this show, I will be talking to Spurs fans from all around the world and giving them a voice to talk about how ecstatic they are after that win that takes us to the final. We've talked for years, haven't we, about how we would accept 17th place in the league to get a trophy, and especially a European trophy. And now the possibility is actually mad and there. And Tottenham Hotspur will play Manchester United in the final, in an all-English final in Europe. And I'll tell you this now. My dad was a Liverpool fan, but he wasn't really around that much. So he never got me into football, but my stepdad got me into football because he was a Manchester United fan, and he hated Arsenal so much that he bought me a Le Coq Sportif Spurs away shirt in 1987, light blue. And that is why I support Tottenham. And now I think I will be going to Spain with my stepdad to watch the final of the Europa League, Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United. And let's just say I hope he pays for it all. But let's get out there and talk to some of you guys. And let's start with my guy in Malta, Melvin. How are you, my man? Oh, are you on mute? Or have I got you muted? There you are.
Now?
I can hear you, mate.
Yeah. I'm speechless, to be honest. I'm absolutely speechless. I don't know what to feel.
Tottenham performance ever.
It was I don't know what to say, because we looked epic. We looked so calm, and it wasn't what I expected. And I was so nervous to the game, Barnaby. When I spoke to you after the 3-1, and we were both, listen, you know, I was gutted. We conceded the goal, but that was brilliant. I mean, the defending, the effort from the team, and that was insane. I was so happy the whole time. The first half, I was counting every minute for it. I wasn't enjoying it, but until we scored. Then once we scored, I was loving every second of it. It was a real team performance. I thought Bentancur in the middle was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult to shout out just one player because a lot of them played well.
Because they played like a team, didn't they, Melvin? They played like a team, something we haven't seen for so long.
Yeah, they did. In Europe, especially, we've had performances like today where we've pulled together as a team. And what makes today even sweeter is what happened yesterday. And so to get to a final and potentially end our trophy drought with a series trophy is brilliant. And for the first time in a long time, I actually feel like confident going into the final. I don't know why. It's in the past we always played opposition who are either the champions or the best team. You know, we've always played City, Liverpool at their best, Chelsea at their best, United at their best. This is not United at their best. I know this is not even Spurs at their best, but I just feel it has to be our season. And Postecoglou's mentality, and I think the way he speaks to the players, I think the message he put across to the fans, I think he understands the fans quite well. And I think the players will relish ending this trophy drought. It's just, I'm so happy at the moment. And I'm jealous. If you're going to Spain, I'm going to be really jealous, you know, because I really want to go.
Isn't Malta closer to Spain than where I am?
What I've seen, the tickets from Malta to go to Spain is a lot cheaper. I just don't know if it's worth going if I don't have a ticket.
It is. It is. I'll tell you, Melvin, it is. It is because you don't know if and when it's going to happen again. You just got to be around there. And I don't just mean on the day of the game, like try if there's possible. This is just what I think. Try and be around it for the few days around it. Just like, because like I said, I don't know if it's going to happen again. And because in Madrid, I was in the stadium and literally 22 seconds, my head came up and that's it. We didn't get a kick. And this game will not be like that game because neither of those teams, whoever goes ahead, neither of those teams are good enough to, I think, keep it out for the whole game against each other.
Yeah, I'm jealous for the 404 fans that made it to this game. I'm really jealous because, you know, you could really say that with like, I was there, I was in Bodø catching 2 flights. It was like, you know, I was joking with Chris and told him you have to go through the wardrobe of Narnia to get there. You know, it's that kind of journey. But the videos looked amazing. The game didn't disappoint. I didn't think we would score, to be honest, but something I complained about was the corners in the first leg. And
you did.
We managed to score from a corner kick, which I was happy with. But yeah, I'm delighted. Honestly, I'm speechless. I'm really speechless. The season for me was hanging on a knife edge, and for us to lose this game, Postecoglou's head would have been on a spike, Game of Thrones style, I believe. Yeah. And but now it's the opposite. We're in a final, and people, if we win it, will be talking about, you know, statues and that kind of thing, because we've not won a European trophy in such a long time. I've never seen a European trophy. The only trophy I've seen is 2 League Cups in my life, and I was too young to really enjoy the first one. But it's a great day for the club, for the fans, and I'm happy in a way we got Manchester United, because if we do win, it's an opposition that will give us respect. I feel as a club we've been mocked way too many times by pundits, by opposition fans, by rival fans, by even fans from other leagues. And if we beat Manchester United, who are a very big club, it's a way for us to get some respect. And it's something that I want as a football club. I want to enjoy winning a trophy, and winning it against a very big team is something that I will also want as well, because it makes it's not like you're winning it against a small team. So it makes it even sweeter, I believe.
Talk to me about, if you had to choose a man of the match tonight, where would you go?
I don't know. I think I still have to give it to Solanke. Worked so hard and was really effective with him pressing him. I thought Richarlison was a bit weak, looked a bit tired, looked a bit leggy, but that's expected because he's only played a few games. But but Solanke was immense. When he received the ball to his feet, he relieved pressure a bit, won a few fouls, and then to score. For me, it was him. But there's also, you could say, Van de Ven, Romero. I thought Udogie was really excellent. Udogie was,
Yep.
I think he's really finding his form. I think he had a very, very poor season, but the last 4 or 5 games, Udogie's been playing really well, and we need him. And even I'm happy with Bissouma as well. I thought Bissouma was okay. Maybe grew into the game. It took him a while to get there. And Bentancur's been playing really well as well. So people are finding really good form, getting to the business end of the season. So lots of positives. And this is why I wore. This is the first time I'm wearing this shirt.
You wearing your lucky shirt, me drinking my lucky beer.
This is the first time I'm wearing this shirt. This was not gifted, but a guy sold it to me, Matt Jones from the podcast, and he won't be happy that I'm wearing it. He tells me don't wear it. He said this is a valuable shirt, but it has to be a lucky shirt, and had to be on a day like today. And I feel we made part of history today, in a semi-final like this. And now it's time to go to Bilbao, enjoy the week leading up to it, because I feel that's a magical moment to be a Spurs fan, because everybody will be happy, everybody will be excited, and we need to get it over the line.
I completely agree. Listen, Melvin, thanks so much as ever being part of the show, and it's just so nice to know we can enjoy the next couple of weeks. And think of some magic that could happen. I'll speak to you again soon.
See you. All the best.
Top man. Bye-bye. Okay, next up, I'm going to go to Steve.
Hey!
Hello. Steve and his son. Hey. How are you feeling, guys?
Just come back from the pub, mate.
Yes. What did you think of that performance?
Well, it was really... They played, like you said, they played like a team, didn't they? And I think that's what we've been crying out for. And for some reason in Europe, we've been playing like a team pretty much most of the campaign, particularly in knockout games. Everyone played really, really well. We restricted them to virtually nothing. It was just a really stress-free night, wasn't it? It was like, as soon as Solanke scored, I totally relaxed. I came on last week and so I thought they were great opponents for us in the semi-final. And we just handled it really, really well, didn't we? I think that we kind of built it up to be thinking that it's going to be so difficult, but we took the game. We started well, I thought, in the first 20 minutes and took the sting out of the match, played really well. And if anything, got better as the game went along, I felt. And it was very unlike Spurs. It was a very unstressful, kind of stress-free match. And everyone played well. I think in particular, I thought Porro and Destiny were just immense. The amount of up and down the pitch constantly. I thought they both did great jobs. And when Mickey and Romero play together centre half, it's just such a difference in it to the team.
Yeah. It's about 40-45% better.
Yeah,
when they're properly up for it.
Absolutely. And when they're both concentrating, and particularly Romero and I've got to say Romero's leap for that first goal was incredible.
Amazing. That's what I'm talking about. And I don't know if you agree with this, and I said it already, but this is one of the reasons I'm kind of like, we could do this, because Romero suddenly, when he wants it, he's like, I know how to get these across the line. I know when I have to raise my game. And you could see it when he's like chest bumping his teammates, getting up above everyone for that header, just showing in the big moments we have somebody on that pitch who really knows how to do it. And as long as he's playing, it's a real possibility. Let me just give you a stat that I've just seen on X. Yeah. Solanke in big games for Spurs this season. Remember that some Spurs fans have been giving him stick. 2 goals against Man United in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals. Assist versus Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semi-final. 2 assists versus AZ Alkmaar in the round of 16 of the Europa League. Goal against Frankfurt in the quarterfinals. Goal in the first and second leg against Bodø Glimt. People have been unfairly giving him stick when he is so vital to this team.
I mean, I think like when Vicario's got his head on right, and I think when like I said, Romero's really up for it, and you got Bentancur in the middle, and then you got Solanke up front. It's it's a solid centre, and I think one of the things that's been interesting in Europe is like how little Vicario plays the ball out, doesn't he? He actually is hitting it long, and it's like just play. Sometimes in games you've got to play percentages, and like I think that's been my frustrations this season is that we've been playing against teams who, okay, I'm not going to be speaking negative. Let's not talk negative stuff. But I think like today and other European away games, when you play a more percentage-based football at times, and we just seem much stronger to me. And today it was just a really, really good, solid performance. It was very stress-free. It was a million miles away from the drama of Ajax 6 years ago. But you know what? Like as soon as the second goal went in, I was totally. But felt like when the first goal went in, I was totally relaxed and like. I go back a bit longer than you. And my first European final I remember was not a good one. It was against Feyenoord in 1974. Okay. So that's which we lost over 2 games. But I remember Anderlecht really, really well, and that was an amazing night. And these European finals are something that we really must relish. And also, what a great opponent in it. Spurs Man United. It's just a fantastic opponent. And what happened last night just, was like, that was great watching them get beat. And for us to be in the final with Man U, how ironic is that when you think about the whole season?
I also think that Spurs and Man United fans, certainly, like I mentioned earlier, my stepdad bought me a Spurs shirt. That's why I support Spurs. But he always talked about Spurs being almost like the Man United of the South. Both clubs trying to play football in the right way. Do things. So I think Spurs fans and United fans, they don't have any kind of ill will towards each other. So I think for those people going out to Bilbao, I think it could just be a really enjoyable trip. But also the other thing I did, I saw a social media post last night from a Liverpool fan saying, I really hope Spurs get to that final because when they were in Madrid, the fans were so amazing. They didn't kind of kick up a fuss about us beating them and blah, blah, blah. And so I just think it could just be an all-round a great trip. Whereas if we were, God, my God, imagine if we were playing like fucking Chelsea or someone like that. Yeah, it would be a nightmare. And I think, look, realistically, this isn't to say that we're going to do it, but you would, on paper, you'd rather be playing Man United in Bilbao than Bilbao in Bilbao.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I think so. And I think that we beat them 3 times this season. So it's not like we can't beat them. This is not the Alex Ferguson Man United team. They'll be thinking this isn't the Pochettino Spurs team. So it evens itself out. But you have to think, God, this is a fantastic chance, isn't it, to get us over the line? You really must think that. And, and what a great night that will be. And let's just hope they can do it. And it was just so nice to see Spurs today just play really professionally, not do anything stupid. And every player played really well. They're all playing for their shirt. It was great. And that's how it should be. And fair play. I've been very critical of the manager. Fair play to him for getting us to the final. So I'm not going to, no more criticism from me for him. And great night. And let's all enjoy it. Let's enjoy tonight. Let's also enjoy the final. And if you go, have a great time.
I will do. And listen, thank you so much for being a part of the show, Steve. And let's speak again and after some of these kind of not important games in between now and the 21st.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Look after yourself. Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye, Angie. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, next, because he's been a while, I'm going to go to what looks like outside a swimming pool or something with Scott.
I went to a bar, and I knew this was going to be a problem because I wanted to also be on this. And we had Man U guys right next to me. Oh, my God. When they scored their 3rd or 4th goal, I don't know how many they got, they're like saying all sorts of crap about Spurs this, crap Spurs that, never win anything.
All right.
And I'm like, God, maybe I should have just stayed home. Spurs fans were awesome, though. It's nice to celebrate with fans.
Who impressed you playing for Spurs tonight, Scott? Have you got headphones or something? I'm just hearing a bit of feedback. Sorry.
Yeah, you're actually hearing traffic. I can't. They're playing music outside this bar, so
no, I can hear. It's all right. The traffic's fine. It's just there's a bit of echo. But anyway, carry on. Yeah, who impressed you playing for Spurs tonight? It's all good.
Okay, so Dom, Mickey, just so solid every time. And then Romero, that leap. I mean, you could just see that he was really reaching up for that header. And it's like you were saying, it's like, why doesn't he do this all the time? And I really think definitely sell him high. Sell him to Atletico, whoever after this time.
Well, if he wins, if he lifts the trophy as potentially the captain, if Sonny's not fit, then he can go to Atletico Madrid with my blessing. The transfer fee will go up another £20 million, and he can do whatever he wants, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. That's how I feel. Yeah, and I thought Biss had a pretty good game. I think Ange hugged him for a reason. He played smart. He had a couple of times where you could just see that he could easily have committed a yellow card tackle, and he just kind of let up, kicked one out of bounds. I don't know. I was impressed with him. Bentancur was good. I think he was a little quiet for central mid.
I think he was just doing his job. I really think he was just doing his job.
That's the thing. Central mid, you never get that credit. It's like you're either doing your job or you mess up. And everyone always sees the mess ups. You just never see their job because it's always so consistent. I thought Richie was poor. He didn't look very good.
I thought he worked really hard. I think his job was basically to be physical, and he did it. I know what you mean, because I'm sure you thinking about that opportunity towards the back end of the first half when he could drive at the, I think it was first half anyway, when he could drive.
He didn't look confident. He looked like, I need to find someone to pass to.
I just think him and Kulusevski look a bit like men who have just come back from injuries, but yeah.
Kulu, though, had a good second half, and I don't know if it was the fact that they put him out to the right or he just started growing into the game, but he definitely played better in the second half. First half, he didn't have much of an influence.
So let's look positively on towards that final. What do you think? Like you said, you've been hearing from Man United fans in the bar all night. Do you think we can? It sounds like they're going into it with a bit of complacency, like it'll be easy for them.
Oh man, I get it. I don't get that very often here in Portland. A lot of soccer fans are football fans, but you just don't come into that very often here. You don't get this like chanting at you and talking about Spurs never winning anything. I mean, it's hard because we beat them 3 times, and you almost feel like, that could be good because we got their number, or maybe they're due. I feel like we're going to beat them. And I almost feel like Ange has just compromised the season. He has put every ounce of energy into the Europa. And this is what we all wanted, except we never wanted this tailspin into Neverworld in the EPL. But I think this is what he's wanted from day one. Yeah, so I think we're gonna win it. I hate predictions. I'm not a gambler, but
I love that, Scott, and I'm
like we're gonna beat them.
No, I love that, and I'm refusing to countenance any negativity. So basically, I'm now banning from these watch-alongs.
You sound so positive. I can't believe it.
I'm now banning. I'm banning from these watch-alongs and Spurs, fan chats after the game. Any talk of the Premier League.
I've heard you. Keep it up.
No more talk. No more talk of the Premier League whatsoever. Listen, Scott, I'm sorry to break in, but we've got loads of people to talk to, so I'm going to have to let you go. But thanks so much for being a part of the show. Really appreciate it.
Good to see you. Good to see you after a win for once.
Exactly. Come on, you Spurs. Top man, bye. Okay, next over to the Czech Republic and Steve.
Absolutely over the moon.
Yes, Steve. Fantastic. Yes.
I've always
tell me how you talk to me about how you took in that game tonight.
Yeah, initially, like most people, I was a bit sort of a bit nervous with the pitch and what have you, and the way we can play. It was fine for the first 20-25 minutes. We contained them really well, but not really look like scoring. But then again, they didn't like scoring. But in the second half, we really started to dominate, and it was a fantastic striker's goal from Dom. Brilliant head down, as people have said, from Romero. And a nice little icing on the cake, a bit of a fortuitous goal, albeit like half a cross from... yes, anyway.
Wait, which goal are you talking about? Sorry, Steve.
The second goal, yeah, from...
Porro,
yeah, sorry.
Porro's miss-hit cross.
I'm so excited. I'm losing people's names. I had quite a bit to drink in the run up to the game because of nerves. But no, fantastic. Like you said, no negatives really at all. Man of the match for me is between Dom, and I thought Bentancur was a bit of an unsung hero.
Just worked so hard, didn't he? Did his job so well.
Yeah, he did it really well. A lot of tidying up, hardly ever put a foot wrong. And as someone has already mentioned, first half I wasn't happy with Bissouma, but mainly because of that sort of slashed effort just before half-time into no man's land. But after that, in the second half, he broke up play quite well, and distribution was very good. No, everyone played. Like you say, for the first time in a long time, we played as a team. We did the similar thing against Frankfurt away, and to an extent against Alkmaar. and I watched all the home legs. I was in England again last week for the first leg of this round, and amazingly impressed by what I saw. And I thought they were very lucky to get that goal in the 87th minute. Well, yeah, we're through. It's just amazing. Now I'm actually just looking at flights from Prague to Bilbao. I don't have a ticket, but I will be going come hell or high water. I will get there and be there because I want to be there.
You've got to be, haven't you? You've absolutely got to be. How does this make you? Does it make you change your feelings about Ange in any way? Like, no negativity here. Like I said, you know, I just want to give all credit to Ange here. He's gone against the grain over 2 legs, and actually, let's say 4 legs, including against Frankfurt, and he's done what needed to be done. Yeah, no, I've always been behind him. I think we've had discussions, and I've had discussions on Chris's program with other people as well. I've always backed Ange. I was like disappointed, annoyed during some of the league games. It just didn't make sense. But ever since the first game I went to, which was the AZ Alkmaar game, I thought we can. It was just weird. I thought, yeah, we can do this. I know what he's doing, and I started looking at other managers. Their positions in the league when they've actually, you know, won cups, especially even Pochettino when he got us to the Champions League final. We weren't doing particularly well in the league, so it kind of, I was thinking, you know, maybe it's a kind of alchemy. Maybe it's going to be our turn this season against all the odds. Yeah, no, I'm really so happy for the man. It's not an easy job at all, and I'm happy for all the fans and happy for yourself. You run these programs, and Chris going to all the games, and fantastic. But Steve, let me ask you: if he wins the final, it's a big if, obviously. Do you think then the Spurs fan base suddenly have such a feeling of goodwill that they're like, okay, we just let him go? Because what I would say is, and listen, this is obviously recency bias, but he will say in any meeting with Daniel Levy, look, if I have that back 4 available, then we are hard to score against. Look, you even saw Udogie and Porro clearing at the back post, headers at the back post tonight. Yeah. But is that naive?
No, I don't think so. I don't, everyone, I know the injuries were over a certain period of time, and then he had the back 4 and various people came back. But a lot of people forget it takes a long time for players to get back into their stride, as we say. Look at Kulusevski at the moment. He's a shadow of the player he was. Bentancur, after his injury, was a shadow of the player he was. And it takes a lot of time for them to get back fit. So to get those players not only fit, but then to gel within the system, I still don't think he had enough time. And we were all a bit too, well, not me, a lot of fans were a bit too eager to say, well, he's got the back 4 back, or he's got this back, and he's still not winning. No, I would personally say keep him on. How can you not keep a manager on if we win it? Even if we don't win it, personally, I would keep him on, because with that side, under all that pressure, all those injuries, he's still got us to a European final. For me, he's done extremely well.
Okay, and Steve, listen, you're an older man like me, an older fan is what I mean, an older fan. Where do you place some of these players who have taken us to a European final in terms of the pantheon of players over your time? I feel like, you know, a lot of those players have got a lot of stick over this past season, and maybe rightly so. Yeah. But I personally think when you look at someone like Mickey van der Ven and you look at Romero, when you get them on the pitch and you get them in the right mindset and fit, there are very few centre-backs I can think of in the time that I've been watching Spurs who better them, by which I can only really talk about, I think, Ledley King, Jan Vertonghen, and Toby Alderweireld. And you'd have to say that if Romero and Van der Ven could get on the pitch fit as regularly as Alderweireld and Vertonghen did as a partnership, then we would be in the top 5 for sure, I think.
Yeah. Definitely, I agree with you with that, because don't forget, you know, in the era I was watching players like bloody Mike Englander at the, central defender, the old centre half, number 5.
Steve
Perryman. A different kind of defender. Just basically they're good in the air, but these guys are extremely good with their feet. So in the modern era, definitely in the last 20 years, they're up there. The pair of them are up there as top central defenders. Mickey van der Ven, absolutely solid tonight. Romero looked like he was really up for it tonight. Not only the header for the goal, but
Agreed.
he was chasing people down and a lot of pumping out the chest. And I think they were all up for it. It was a great night to see. They were really together, for want of a better expression, weren't they? Especially at the back. They seem to be very, just up for it as a team, and now they're there. I think Romero is actually, as long as he doesn't get himself sent off, is going to be crucial in that final against Man U.
I completely.
I would make him captain. I wouldn't want anyone else as captain. I'd make him
I have
captain.
to say, Steve, sorry to interrupt, but I've been trying not to bring this up because I'm determined not to show any negativity tonight. But we have ourselves a similar situation as we had for the Champions League final, which is our kind of our kind of face of the club, the captain in this instance, Son, coming back from injury, and would be a temptation to put him straight in, but I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't. He's not even, in terms of filling a space or category as Harry Kane was to us in those days. He's not that relative to us now. You know what I mean? We're not missing him that much. We played very consistently. I don't care. I'll say it. Once Richie went off and Johnson went off, we were much more solid as a unit, and it just worked better.
Yeah.
Maybe the other side were tired.
I think he'll be a brilliant option off the bench, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. When they get a little bit tired in the second half, maybe after 60 minutes or so. Definitely, if we're not in the ascendancy, but I hope we will be. I believe we will be. I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd bring him on the bench, definitely. And what a player to bring on. What a player to bring on for the last 30 minutes or so.
Exactly. Steve, thanks for being part of the show. I've got to let you go because I've got so many people to talk to.
Absolutely.
But
thanks, Barnaby,
come on, you Spurs.
I really enjoyed it, and come on, you Spurs. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Top man. Okay, next up, Gary. Gary, you've been very patient. Thanks so much, mate. How are you feeling after that brilliant night for Tottenham Hotspur?
Oh, mate, I'm on top of the world, mate. Top of the world. Do you know what? After 2 minutes, when it started, after 2 minutes, I was just so calm. I haven't been that calm for as long as I can remember, to be fair. I thought,
Gary, I'm just going to interrupt because I'm going to tell you, I feel exactly the same way. And I felt exactly the same way in the first leg as well. But I cannot say it out loud because I'm so afraid of jinxing it. But I was just like, and actually I felt the same away from home at Frankfurt as well. I was like, there's something about this lineup, setup, performance where I feel incredibly calm. And that's why I'm going to give, once again, I'm going to say I give credit to Ange Postecoglou for that.
You took the words right out of my mouth. You've got to give, you know what, he's taken a bit of a kicking this year, hasn't he, this season? But in fairness to him, both legs against Frankfurt and both legs against Bodø, obviously last week and tonight, I think he's got it spot on. Up to totally professional performance, something to be proud of, Barnaby, for a change. This season's been horrific, let's be honest, in the league anyway. But you know what? We're going to Bilbao. And do you know what? I think we can do it as well. I really do. I think we're on a roll now.
What makes you think that then? I assume what you're saying is you're more confident going into this final than you were the Liverpool Champions League final. Kind of try and sum that up for us.
By far. I think Liverpool, at that point were far superior to us, in my opinion. Whereas I think Man United, we're kind of on the league positions would state that we're on a par. But it's nothing to do with the fact we've beaten 3 times or anything like that. I just think they're tailor-made for us. I think we can beat them. I really do. I'm so confident. And that's not like me even, not when it comes to Tottenham anyway.
No, it's not like me either. So talk me through Gary, who really impressed you for Spurs tonight.
I thought the unsung hero was Bentancur. I mean, it's what he was, he was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And it wasn't anything in particular that he did. It was just everything that he did. He was filling gaps. He was, stopping their play, breaking it up. I thought he was brilliant tonight. That's the best I've seen him play for a long time. And it goes totally under the radar as well, to be fair. I thought Porro was excellent. Solanke was excellent. As all the other guys are saying. I think everyone was excellent, to be fair. Everyone put a shift in. And that's something, that was a performance we can actually be proud of. Not like some of the dross we've seen this season, to be fair. And like I say, hats off to Ange. I've given him a good kick in this season, but I think he got it spot on. It's absolutely spot on. That was a tough game tonight.
Yeah, and I think that shows that Tottenham fans are real football fans, because we're able to say, listen, you know, we don't like this guy, but not to the point where we're like, oh, you put in a good performance and suddenly we still don't like the guy. We're like, this guy, one thing you have to say for Ange, I think that I don't think any Tottenham fan would ever disagree with, is he seems to have a way of understanding what the players want, and also of talking well in the press, even though sometimes it's clear he says some absolute bullshit.
Crazy stuff,
But in a way that's almost like always trying to protect his players.
Yeah, definitely. And hats off to him for that. I just think, you know, I don't know, it's a difficult one, isn't it? You know, you hear everyone saying, well, and I've said it myself, even if he wins it, he's still got to go. But you know what? After tonight, I'm just like, oh my God, you know, but that's just me.
I think if he wins it, there will be such a feeling of goodwill that imagine what, on an open top bus parade, that any of us would say Anne should go. I've been saying this for a while now. I think the most realistic thing, if we win it, is that he will resign, and that will leave us with a feeling of, oh, maybe we should have given him more. But anyway, I don't want to talk about any negatives at all. What I just want is just to drink it in, because I feel like now, listen, there'll be some people, you know, you've heard Wenger this week saying teams shouldn't get it or whatever, and there'll be people who say, oh, it's Bodø Glimt, it's only Bodø Glimt. But do not forget, they have not played a game where they haven't scored at home for a long time. And we kept them out, and we made them absolutely struggle for two legs. And and that where for me Ange has to be given more credit, because he you know, we all know Jed Spencer's one of the best players all season, but he has brought Udogie back in, and he's brought back that back four from the first 10 games of last season, and they have proven why they are the best back four for us.
Absolutely. And I the bit I loved the most, Barnaby, in all fairness, was right at the end. You know, when I think it was Romero steamed in with a tackle and Porro chest to chest. You know, that just shows that they are playing for him. They do actually want to win. Do you know what I mean? I know it might seem like it's the other way round at times, but that tonight just showed me, and I'm really confident. We can beat Man United. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to end on that, Gary. I love the sound of it. Thanks for being part of the show, mate. Got loads of people to talk to, but I appreciate
Thank you, mate. Take care, Barnaby. Cheers.
Bye-bye. Next up to a regular Noel. Noel, how are you feeling tonight, my man?
Barnaby, what a night. What a night.
What a night.
The first thing I'll say, Barnaby, is it's not very often that Melvin is lost for words. You know, and I feel a wee bit like that myself, actually. Very emotional after it, you know, because I've been following Spurs for a long time. I have seen the European triumphs, but tonight that was all about grit and passion and determination, and everybody playing for each other, and couldn't be prouder, actually. I was actually at the stadium last week for the match. I met Chris. I met Chris and Steve, actually, one of your previous guests. What a lovely guy, and very disappointed to actually concede the goal. But I never actually thought we would lose this game. I actually predicted 1-0, but the performance all over, it's really made me proud and very emotional afterwards. So I agree with you and all the other guys. Like, there's some fantastic performances there. And while I was waiting for it to come on, I was actually seeing Solanke's contribution to the game. And I thought maybe Romero was man of the match. But after seeing, you know, I actually would agree with Solanke, definitely man of the match. He linked everything up, you know, it was brilliant. But the whole performance, I thought the spine of the team was amazing. And you talked about Udogie there to your previous guests. But, you know, he has actually brought the balance back into the team. Like, Spence is a wonderful player. But, you know, a right-sided player on the left side has to cut in, and you lose a second. But Udogie has come back the last 4 or 5 games. I'm really impressed with him. His distribution of the ball, his awareness, you know, in interception of the ball and linking up on the left-hand side. I think he's been instrumental. And, you know, that to me gives me a lot of confidence in the back four. Topasuma did very well, actually.
Yes.
A wee bit dodgy, maybe 1 or 2 things in the first half, but grew into it, did the simple things and did them well. Bentancur was excellent. Kulusevski, bit rusty, but still kept going for 90 minutes, which was a good sign. Who played on the left? Was it?
Let me just interrupt quickly, because I just want to ask you one question. talk me through why you think Tottenham could win this trophy in Bilbao.
Well, we have actually beaten Manchester United 3 times already this season, and we're arguably the best team in all 3. Like, none of us have had a good season so far.
Yeah.
And I would be if I was going to Bilbao to play Bilbao, I would be a lot more worried. I think we know what United can do and what we can do. And, man for man, I think we're a match for United. And I think it's all about getting the attitude right and going out there and, going out there to win. There's no point in being the bridesmaid. We're going there to win. And I think we can do it. And I think, we've all been critical of Ange, every one of us. I was supporting him all the way, and I sort of lost my way a wee bit. And now I'm back, to think, that he is. It's an upward, as you know, Barnaby, supporting Spurs is roller coaster. One day you're up, the next day you're down.
I think the thing for me is I would like to see Tottenham go into a Premier League game.
Yeah.
And we're not going to see it till next year.
Yeah, of course.
If at all. But where we play that way, where we're like, okay, Enquiries is going to kick it long every time because we know that every time we go short. And it's like what we did tonight that was brilliant was we earned the right to then play our football when the ball broke to us in midfield or wherever, and we could pop it out, and we scored those 2 goals. The game tonight was the equivalent of a difficult away game in the Premier League, like a Crystal Palace away or a.
I don't actually agree with you on that because Bodø are not that physical. I don't think that I don't think that Tottenham actually Spurs don't handle the physical side of it. I said this year before, the disappointing thing for me all season, like teams like Newcastle in particular, horsed us out of games. We were horsed out of games too nice. And I think it's something that has to be addressed for next season. So, I think actually
sorry to interrupt again, but Noel, do you think if Spurs had tried to play a more physical game against those teams that we couldn't have done? Because we actually tonight down the spine, if you look at Solanke and Bentancur and Romero and Van der Ven, we have enough physicality, especially when Richarlison was on the pitch as well. We have enough physicality to go in the Premier League and try and duke it out in that way. But it's almost like Ange has no interest in it.
I think actually it's a bit of naivety as well. The high line game can be very difficult. The amount of games that Spurs have thrown away this season, 2-0 leads against Chelsea, Brighton comes to mind. I think the commentator said something tonight, like they've thrown away, 12 or 13 1-0 leads. So, the ability is in the team. It's just a question of tweaking the system. And I think maybe Ange has been a bit naive. And I think maybe he's getting a bit more street savvy now. And I think he has to. To win games like tonight, you have to go in with that attitude. And I didn't see that, playing on the halfway line. I think there was periods
none of that.
Yeah, I think there was periods in the game where maybe in the third part of the first half, Spurs were struggling to get the ball, and everybody stood up, and everybody did their job, and I think that Bodø really. There was 1 or 2 maybe half chances, but nothing really. We restricted them very well. But the break that we have when you have players like Udogie who can actually go. I'd love to know what kilometers that guy actually covers in a game. Yeah. It must be incredible. I've never seen the stats, but what he gives you on the left hand side, I think we need something a wee bit more on the right hand side. I think the right-hand side is a wee bit... Johnson, I agree with you tonight. He did well. He did actually tackle back. Yeah, but a naive challenge, and I think it was actually a very good move to take him off and put Sarr on and put Kulusevski over. I think when that happened, actually, Kulusevski came more into the game because I think he's been very rusty after he come back. I think he's a fantastic player, but he just hasn't been, at it yet. And there's maybe just one big more game in him, and that would be wonderful if it was the final. And you were saying, Barnaby, you're on the way no matter whether you get a ticket or not. I actually won't be going. I know I have to go into hospital a few days afterwards for a back operation, so I can't walk very far these days. So that's that. I'll be supporting, obviously. I remember the first European final I saw was an All English final in 1972 against Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves,
And
two legs. We won.
And the great Martin Shivers, like scored from about 45 yards, like those were, like that was a wonderful team. And you were talking about centre halves. I do remember one in the 80s. Richard Gough was a real
and he played for us for one season though, didn't he? Then went off to Rangers.
And he wanted to go back to Scotland and went back to Rangers. And he was actually our captain at that time.
Yeah.
What a great player he was,
Listen, Noel, I have to let you go because I've got a couple of people to speak to in the next 5 minutes. But thanks so much, mate. Amazing.
Delighted. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Okay, Gary, thanks for being so patient. Really appreciate it. How do you feel tonight, my man?
Excellent. I remember before to admit it, I wasn't actually that nervous. I really wasn't. I thought that we'd do a job, not as easy as we did. I mean, Jesus, we were just so solid. I think I want to use that word. We were just solid. And how you asking the other guests, who was the man of the match? For me, I didn't think anybody was overridingly better than I just thought everybody did a shift. Everybody did. I thought Basuma was good. I liked Romero. Everybody just did their bit. The jigsaw puzzle just worked tonight.
And is that credit to Ange Postecoglou for getting that jigsaw puzzle right?
It is. Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I've slated him a lot this season, but give him the credit. He knew what needed to be done, and he made the players do it. And that was I was good. And it was interesting because everyone's talking about and me as well. Jed Spence should be in there, but the balance of the team with a doggy there playing on the left like he does, and Porro on the right, it just worked, and we made them look on their plastic pitch very ordinary.
No, I completely agree. So what gives you the confidence that we can go to that final and win it?
I think it's our year, and the fact that we've beaten Man United 3 times this year, and I don't think we've lost to them in a couple of years. Now, some people might say, they're due, but no, not me. I just think it's our year. I think we'll do it. I really do. I really do. This is it. I'm not worried. I'm just looking forward to it. I just think we'll win.
And that Son conundrum, would you have him back in the team? What do you think?
I would have him back in the squad. I think Son this season is best utilized from off the bench. I wouldn't have him start because that's just going to upset the balance, just like we did a couple of years under Pochettino when we played Liverpool in the final and we decided to play Kane. It's like, no, just bring him in because it'd be nice to see him play, especially beating Man U as a club captain for what he's done for us. It'd be nice to see him on the pitch and pick up the trophy, but not to start. No.
There you go, Gary. Sorry to cut you short, mate. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Really appreciate it. But
excellent. Thanks.
Cheers. Have a great rest of your night. Cheers. Bye bye. Okay, next to Paul. Thanks for waiting, Paul. Paul, how are you feeling, my man?
Absolutely fantastic. Amazing night. I'll be honest with you, I was a little nervous. I think that the goal they scored last week kind of, for me, knocked the stuffing out of the performance a small bit, and that kind of just 2 goals. I was a little bit worried, and my stomach was turning all day today, and I just wanted to get on with it. But after 5 minutes, we had nothing to worry about. We were, right from the start, we were in complete control, and it lasted for the 94 minutes. We had nothing to worry about. Right down the spine, we were absolutely
Paul,
incredible.
tell me, sorry to interrupt, but I've got to be quick. Tell me, what makes you think we can win this tournament?
Like Noel said previous, man for man, I think we're a better team. We've beaten them 3 times already, and I just think. Well,
here's the interesting thing for me. I think these are 2 teams in the final who both struggle against teams who shut up shop and play deep. So I do wonder whether both teams will go to it and be like, well, we're going to do that. And it might end up being a 0-0 drab fest, or just hoping that someone pulls something out the bag, which I would worry might be Bruno Fernandes. But like I said, no negativity tonight. But I just wonder how both teams will set up.
Yeah. No, look, you have a point. I think, you know, I think we have better players we have more players to hurt them than they have to hurt us. And I think just being on the front foot like we did last week against Bodø Glimt and just go at them early, I think we could get it done not fairly easy, but I think we'll get it done. Absolutely.
Paul, thank you. I'm so sorry for cutting you short, mate.
No problem.
The Spurs Chat podcast is going to start in 5 minutes. Thanks so much for being part of the show. I'll speak to you again. Top man.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Okay, guys, that's the end of the fan show after Tottenham won 2-0 and 5-1 on aggregate and reached the final of the Europa League against in Bilbao. Sorry, can you tell I've had 3 beers? 2.5 beers. On the 21st of May. If you'd like to appear in a future episode of the fan show, email tottenhamfanchris@gmail.com. That's tottenhamfanchris@gmail.com. It's really important to us. The channel gives everyone a voice, particularly from those around the world, all around the world. So wherever you're from, please do get in touch. All right, guys, that is the end of a very long night of brilliant, brilliant Spurs content. We're through to the final. We're going to Bilbao, 21st of May. Absolutely magic. Do subscribe to Chris's channel at Chris Cowlin on YouTube. Also, my channel at Barnaby Slater _ if you want daily Spurs content. And Chris will be hosting the Spurs Chat podcast in just 4 minutes' time. We'll be joined by Ricky Norwood, Terry Kim, and Gareth McGuinness. Also, don't forget, put your phone over that QR code in the top right-hand corner there, and you can play the match bingo. But most importantly, guys, Ange has stuck to his word. We're in the final of the Europa League. We may end up finishing 17th and winning a European trophy that gets us back into the Champions League. My God. Come on, you Spurs.